I'm here with Lzwvmmh, Zif, Uf, Nurah, Zub, Puff, Uwa, Zenas, Axaru,
That's me, baby.
Mr. Alien, Mr. Kutulu, Mr. Antihuman Alien. Is that your new channel name?
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to get out with that channel name so much because I would not like my channel to become that old meme that it once became, or but it's okay anyway.
Okay, so let's. I'm not sure as I go along when I'm focusing on the thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
As I go along, but from the 15th of the second month of 1441, Evocation with the Ship of Fools Tarot by Brian Williams. Let's make a show in sepia tones. The present is seen as if in a series of clones. 5 of Cups reversed. Queen of Staves reversed. 7 of Staves reversed. Ace of Staves reversed. 9 of Staves reversed. 3 of Staves reversed. 2 of Cups. 1, the Mountebank. 2 of Staves reversed. 7 of Coins reversed. Queen of Cups. 15, the Devil. 6 of Cups. King of Swords reversed. 8 of Staves. 8 of Swords. 9 of Coins. 0, the Vagabond. 20, Judgment. 7, the Cart reversed. King of Coins reversed. 10 of Swords. 8 of Swords. 6 of Staves reversed. 8 of Coins reversed. Knight of Staves reversed. 5 of Swords reversed. 2, the Papist reversed. 12, the Hanged Man reversed. 4 of Swords reversed. 21, the World reversed. 4 of Coins. 6, Love reversed. 14, Temperance. Queen of Swords. Page of Swords. 16, the Tower reversed. 6 of Swords. 13, Death reversed. 10,
Scary.
the Wheel of Fortune. 2 of Coins reversed. 9, the Hermit. 9 of Swords. 4 of Cups. 10 of Coins reversed. 7 of Cups reversed. 17, the Stars. Page of Staves. 3, the Empress. Knight of Cups. 10 of Staves reversed. 3 of Swords reversed. 4, the Emperor reversed. 3 of Cups reversed. Knight of Coins. Ace of Cups. 8, Justice. 11, Strength. 18, the Moon. 5 of Staves. 5 of Coins. Page of Cups. 8 of Cups. Ace of Coins reversed. 5, the Pope. Page of Coins reversed. 19, the Sun. 4 of Staves reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. Queen of Coins reversed. 6 of Coins. 2 of Swords reversed. 7 of Swords reversed. 10 of Cups. King of Staves. 9 of Cups. King of Cups reversed. 3 of Coins reversed. Are some inversion of these groans the future? Before us in the north are desires. Behind us in the south are contributors. On our left hand in the west are influencers. On our right hand in the east roams the non-professional version of friars. Uncrossed and untanned, we presage ourselves as uninfluenced by the dyers. We've planned through the guidance of the tones to make our environment something higher. Innermost realization comes if we let ourselves be the knowers. Then we can be something other than the foaming expressors. With all the vitality of a child, our vessels face issues without becoming mire.
Wow.
And I noticed that at least several of those cards did not line up with what I was saying.
Really?
But we'll reorder the deck before I, put it up.
Yeah.
So any initial impressions of our understanding of this
I noticed there
poem for the whole deck?
I noticed there are many swords and many staves, that's for sure. And many coins, that's for sure. So what's the function of the order of
so the mind and the will and there's not any more than the other suits, but first you notice the mind, and then you notice the will, and then you notice the body.
Oh, really?
So you can say something about that order, because particularly as I'm saying, we have the whole deck here. So we're
how many were there in total? Was it 70 or
78? And most of these cards, most of these decks end up with a couple extra cards. Some of the companies are cheapskates, and they won't even give you a company card. Like they'll have a card that has the same back and a blank, and some decks will give you even more than 80 cards. But this but some they'll make 78. They figure they're making enough of them, so they'll save just a little bit.
Cool.
They'll save just a little bit of money.
All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. But that's fair enough, I think.
But there's 14 cards for every suit.
Okay. So all right. All right. So that explains it's like 14 times 6, right? Would that be correct? Like, would that end up to 78? Like 14?
14 times 4 times 4, and then there's the 20.
Yeah.
Then that would be 56, and then there's the 22 cards.
So 22, that's from the alphabet, right?
Yeah, that's from the alphabet. Hence the whole order of not every practicing Zoroastrian, every observant Muslim is going to do the order of 9 angles thing without killing anybody. I've told you the order of 9 angles has this thing where they say you must in order to establish a good Nexion, you must kill a 22-year-old every 17 years. And
what?
Just like I was talking about Crowley, a lot of this stuff. I mean, it was never meant to be literal. You got to be
exactly. Gotcha.
And some of the words that they throw in there. Like. It's like the last Crowley thing that I recorded for my channel, or one of them. It had the word like, so you understand that this killing a child, putting it on the altar, and all this other stuff. You're talking about that how it's the inner side of things and all this stuff. So people are taking it. Which is probably why some of the stuff I've shared that's old isn't. I may be the first person to put this stuff as a video online, because people are like, "Oh, I can't say that in public." No. But I'm like, "Oh, I'll talk about anything. Thank you very much."
Yeah, thank you very much. If I know you're right, that's what you're gonna do anyway.
I mean, not just to talk about everything to talk about everything, but
sure.
A deck's supposed to one of the things that you're supposed to be able to do with the deck, at least over time, is you're supposed to be able to explain your whole existence. So
Really?
the trumps, no matter what
Yeah.
number of trumps you're going to list, there's
Mhm.
something about
Yeah.
the trump. The trumps are your stations in life. They're
Okay.
stations in life.
Yeah.
And
Huh?
as I was talking about, the Muslims and
Yeah.
the Zoroastrians both have this ritual schedule of
Mhm.
17 every,
Mhm.
you know, every
Yeah.
every night and every day, and they have
Yeah.
the same
Oh.
prayer times and whatnot too. It's but
Mhm.
the
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, wow.
15. Um,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
okay, there's
Mhm.
I miss you know, I'm trying to organize the cards. So
Yeah, that's fine. That can be easy.
so every night and every day, but so
Yeah.
within those 17,
Mhm.
unlike Christian prayer, where you just, if you don't feel
Yeah.
like something, you don't pray it. If it's like you have people who read the book of Revelations and the book of Daniel, and it's like you haven't even
Mhm.
read the rest of the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
These things every week.
Mhm. Mm.
So you're supposed to be going over a whole gamut
Yeah.
of your life, not just some.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Wow.
But
Yeah, that's
people
right.
people mess that one
Yeah.
up, and they're like
Yeah. Yeah.
14. Okay.
It's like they never know how to really approach things. They're not really interested in knowing the hows of things. They just want to do it.
That's real. That's really why right now it's such a big thing.
Yeah.
It's such a big thing in
Yeah.
the whole new age thing. It's such a big
Really?
thing to all this path working,
Yeah.
because all these
Yeah.
people grew up Protestant or something where they didn't actually work through the issues in life.
Really?
Or they didn't,
Yeah.
they didn't have a system of prayer or something beyond what the preacher had said.
Really?
Now,
Oh shit. Yeah.
and like
Wow.
that one liner I
Yeah.
posted on
Mhm. Facebook. Yeah.
on Facebook. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
there's something out there that's beyond our control per se. But I'm not saying we
Yeah.
don't control ourselves. I'm saying that people
Yeah, I understand.
people
Yeah.
refer to these. It's like
Yeah.
that's why the whole Lovecraft
Mhm.
thing has the power that it does. Is it's
Yeah.
representative of something that's
Yeah. Mhm.
beyond. It's beyond.
Yeah.
It's beyond our explanation of it.
I'm so stupid. I should have realized, because you really are into Lovecraft most of the time, and he really says about what you say, that you know, the most merciful thing in the world is, you know, that we can't make sense of everything in the world, because otherwise we'll be mad or crazy or something like that.
Well, it's like looking even yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
I've used these two memes in the
Mhm.
past.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get another one because 2024 is going to be even worse. It's probably going to be
Wow.
probably going to be
Oh,
even
shit.
worse. Or it's going to be the same
Mhm.
people running for president, because people realize that
Really?
a serial rapist probably wasn't the best. That is senile is
Yeah.
probably not the best choice. For
Probably
president.
not.
But
I gotcha. Yeah.
they let it. But you know, it's like the
Mhm.
you know, we're gonna I guess
Yeah.
pull out these cards one by one.
Yeah,
But
sure.
for example,
Yeah.
a person could make a Freemason,
Mhm.
make it according to the Freemasons. If you want to hear the
Yeah.
basic degrees, if you've heard of Albert
Mhm.
Pike. So
Yeah.
the degrees in order,
Yeah.
you know, if you're, you know,
Oh,
including
the
the
KKK. Yeah.
Scottish Rite,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
you get entered apprentice, fellow craft,
Oh, yeah.
master
There's the
mason.
Scottish Rite and what was the second one?
Entered apprentice, fellow craft,
Mhm.
and master mason are the 3 degrees. Now, if you're
Oh,
part of
wow.
the York Rite, you
Yeah.
have
York Rite. Yeah. Yeah.
the York
Okay,
Rite
yeah.
has Mark Master, Past Master, Most Excellent Master,
Yeah, now I remember.
Royal
Yeah.
Master, Select Master, Super
Mhm.
Excellent Master, Order the Red
Wow.
Cross, which may be where the
Wow.
whole Red Cross thing comes from.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Some Freemason.
Yeah. Mhm.
The Order of the
Yeah,
Knights of
I think
Malta,
so. Mhm.
which is not to be confused with the organization that made its way into the Ku Klux Klan. That's something different.
Okay. Yeah.
The Order of the Knights Templar. And so, but in the Scottish Rite, which Albert Pike, I was going to go to Charlottetown, North Carolina, and visit the Freemason Lodge up there. Albert Pike was
Wow.
head of Freemasonry.
Really?
There's
What?
all this stuff honoring Albert Pike in North Carolina, and Oh,
Oh,
in Washington D.C. too. So but I
Wow.
don't think I'm going to make it
Yeah,
to Washington D.C. But
Okay.
I was going to present that. So the Scottish Rite, which is very interesting because Albert Pike knew about a whole different series of religions and how to have experiences and stuff like this, and he put this stuff. He edited the Freemason rituals to be more than just some Judeo-Christian sort of thing.
Okay.
So despite the Templar, the Templar and stuff like this, you don't have to be an intolerant Christian or something to be Freemason. That's
Okay. Wow, interesting.
But the other degrees 4 through 33, which most people online, if you hear somebody, I am a sovereign inspector grand general or that sort of thing. No, they're usually lying if they're out there. You know, particularly if it's part of their rap title. Thank you very much.
Okay.
If you're putting out a rap album and that's and you're doing a song about that, you probably have you're probably not you're not an
You're probably not a Freemason. No,
but you have the secret master, the perfect master, the intimate secretary, provost and judge, intendant of the building, Elu of the 9, Elu of the 15, Elu of the 12, master architect, royal ark of Solomon, perfect Elu, knight of the east of the sword or of the eagle, 16th degree is prince of Jerusalem, then is knight of the east and west, which is an interesting thing about light in terms of the Quran has an interesting lesson about light being not some eastern thing or not some western thing, and sort of transcend it like that. Which really puts an end to all this stupid sectarian war garbage. Is they're different political leaders or they're different sides of the world. They're just fighting because they're different sides of the world. That's stupid stuff right there. I mean, the ruling people who want to make a lot of money, sure, it's great for them, but the rest
it's great for them.
18th degree is Knight of the Rose Croix, then Pontiff, Master of the Symbolic Lodge, Noahite or Prussian Knight, Knight Royal Axe or Prince of Libanus, Chief of the Tabernacle, Prince of the Tabernacle, Knight of the Brazen Serpent. You know that story, Moses lifts up the brazen serpent.
The serpent, Moses,
A lot of these themes go way back. It's like as I'm saying with the tarot. The tarot doesn't start with all those themes can be found in hieroglyphs. I saw a book that was like from the 70s or something at my local library or something that I checked out, and nobody seems to know about this book. I want to if this book could be old enough that I could actually do a full-on commentary or something of it and be within my legal rights. Some of this stuff is like from the 1800s during the Egyptology stuff. So but at the very least, I want to see this thing that shows in Egyptian again, like all the tarot cards, basically right there in Egyptian themes, and everything the Bible talks about is whether it's talking about like it happened something real that happened among the Israelites or not. It's a thing that happened before, so you find it in other cultures. Everything. Samson.
That's interesting.
About the Moses story.
I've never thought about that actually. Wow.
Prince of Mercy or Scottish Trinitarian is the 26th degree, then Knight Commander of the Temple, then Knight of the Sun or Prince Adept, then Scottish Knight or St. Andrew. St. Andrew, I'm not showing it here because I don't have the graphic. The Confederate flag that people talk about all the time is a St. Andrew flag. Knight Kadosh or Knight of the White and Black Eagle, Inspector Inquisitor, Master of the Royal Secret, and something that's actually you don't necessarily have a sovereign grand inspector general or 33rd degree. There's another couple degrees that are like Egyptian rights or something like that.
Oh, right. Are they invisible rights or kind of or
the right of Memphis and Mesraim and I'm not sure if they have a full 98, 99 degrees or something like this, but there's other Freemason degrees other than the York Rite and the Scottish Rite as shown there. But typically a lot of things have 3 degrees. Like for example, most
three. That's a very sacred number, right?
Or they have a 4th degree, which is like a 0 degree. And you can say, like, for example, with this Ekankar group, they have 9 degree. It used to be now. See this. This is where, just like Scientology, this is where they're pulling your they're pulling your leg with this one.
Okay.
Is when they start saying stuff like, like when they start you out and say, oh, there has to be this many degrees. So the guy says, I became the leader of the organization when it was as a 5th degree. So he, in order to become public, he's Paul Twitchell, who really had to wait until an episode of The Twilight Zone came out to name his group after. He even used the spelling from The Twilight Zone. So he used this phrase in a Twilight Zone sort of way of spelling and pronouncing it, and then released about his group 2 years later. And he was taught he was top in a couple Sikh orders. Paul Twitchell was number 3 in Scientology. He was the 3rd most powerful person in Scientology. He figured that he could do more starting his own group. And on his deathbed, Paul Twitchell told his own sister, when his sister asked, you studied a lot of religion, what religion should I follow? He basically, his own sister testified that on his deathbed, he said, don't follow Ekankar here. The one I've been the leader of the past 15 years or whatever it is.
He said that?
Don't join my group.
What? Really?
But
that's deep, man.
The second guy had to be, each of these is supposed to be a degree in the step. So, you become a situator of each plane, which actually doesn't pan out as you go. The second degree, I'm surprised I never had to worship. I never had to worship in either masters or any of that stuff to get my second degree. I got a first and second degree without believing in them and without doing some of the stuff that you would think would have to be the thing. They just, oh, you hang out with us and talk about dreams and spiritual experiences and stuff. And
wow, cool.
You can read our book, so don't worry, we'll initiate you. And
shit. Cool.
So, but so the 9th degree. So he then said for the second guy, the 9th degree.
Yeah, the 9th degree.
The third guy has moved it up to the 14th degree. And so they keep making it broader and broader, and almost no people are 8th degrees. You have to be like in the group for 30 years as 18 or older to be in the 8th degree. So there's not too many, to the point where they put it, it's like it's years. Every so many years they announce, oh, we have a new 8th degree member.
Okay.
And we don't know what his wife was, because his wife was initiated into the 8th degree with him. So his wife's probably like, if his wife outlives him, he's probably going to be like, probably try to hand it over to his wife, or who knows what's going to happen. But at the very least, we know these degrees are just whatever, because you talk to the people who are 5th degrees, so they've been in the organization for 17 years or so.
Oh, shit. Wow.
So they've been in the organization for 17 years or so, and they don't see
17 years.
They tend to be the most advanced people tend to have only been in for a year or 2 or 3 or something like that. If they've been in for more than 5 years, they tend not to see as advanced as the ones who've been in there since the 80s or something.
Wow. So those degrees, they're serious business. I mean, it's not just, it's hard work, it seems.
Well, the Freemasons, you could say there's more work, because you have to prove your degrees. You have to. I mean, you gotta be able to help somebody else move it to the degree under you. So in Freemasonry and Aleister Crowley's AA, which is now called the SS, and other stuff like this, you have to prove. You have to be able to. The person getting the degree, one less than your degree, you got to be able to help them get that degree.
Really?
So they move you up the organization according. It's like there's a few free degrees. Now, if you're a Sufi, for example, you could. Some Sufi orders won't let you in until you've learned the Quran or something. I mean, you have to learn the whole thing. Some you have to learn part of some ritual or something. You have to learn more than just a basic daily prayer or something to be a member. But some degrees, it's like I was thinking of being a Sufi master, but then again, I didn't want to be. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was going. I
Yeah.
mean, for one or two people here and there, I think I can do better as a non-Sufi, sharing what I'm going to share, and
yeah, exactly.
than I can with whatever. And I didn't want to be one of those people that were trying to get a couple hundred extra dollars on the weekend by being a lower
Oh yeah, exactly.
charge
You don't want to be like that.
psychologist, or
No, yeah.
even to the point of making amulets and stuff like this, which actually would have
Oh,
been disparaging in the order or something.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, the tarot's,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's not art for art's sake. It's a science here. I really I have nicer things from her. Maybe I should save the picture
Yeah.
for that.
Okay.
But the
Yeah.
so you know, so we go, you go through stages, and which order you go through the stages depends on what sort of person you are. Like with the Enochian
Yeah,
stuff,
that's good to know.
it's 30
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
things. So do you start with the 30th author, make your way to the first, or the other way around? And tarot cards are the same way.
Yeah, you're the expert. You're the expert, man.
So you got your stages, you know, just listing them off before flipping, you know.
Yeah.
You know, going,
Okay.
you know, a lot of people would say, you know, because you want to ascend, right, or something like that. So you got the world, and you got judgment, and the sun, and the moon,
Interest.
and the stars, and the hour, and the devil, and temperance, and death, and the hanged man.
Yeah.
Let me get a better position here. The and strength, and the wheel of fortune, hermit, justice, heart, love, hope, the emperor, the empress, Apis, the mountebank, and the vagabond. Which have different, some of them have different names and different decks, but it's the same basic thing. If you're going the other way, feel free to interject with any of your own personal thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
As this goes on. So we see the vagabond again. So the vagabond, you can say he's not
the vagabond.
Some people will say he's not in the stations, but then again, he's in the station of no station, as the Sufis will call it. So he's not, you know, he's in the journey, but he's not. He's not in any particular position in the journey. So
Okay.
But you know, I think of that Buddhist thing about the yonder shore and all that stuff, but that's really an oversimplified way that doesn't really make sense in Buddhism, because the journey is not it in Buddhism, just like every other religion, really.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But so the dog is loyal, or the dog doesn't want you to go, and it's not being.
Oh, there's a dog there too. I didn't see that. Yeah, now I see it. I thought it was his leg.
And the Crowley deck, it's this thing, shoot the thing.
Okay.
And the Montebank is the magician card. So you have just like you're going beyond the rules and all this stuff. The Montebank is where you're bringing the rules and the tools and stuff back into things. So you're setting your plan. You're setting your plan. And if he's a banker, he's probably helping this other guy plan, trying to convince him, hey, let me set you up with a high interest loan. Don't worry, we'll figure out how you can pay for it. So essentially, you're working for yourself and the banker. That's the whole purpose of banking right there.
Okay. All right.
And the Papist, you know.
What was the name again?
The Papist. There was a woman there's supposed to have been a woman who snuck her way into being who disguised herself as a male. And was able to make her was able to become Pope at some point. And ever since that incident, that after this person was supposed to have been Pope, they instituted something when they crowned the Pope. When they crowned the Pope, there'd be this chair, and they'd have somebody go under the chair and say, "He's got him." You get what I'm talking about? They reach under his chair and say, "He's got him." In other words, supposedly they're grabbing the person's groin to prove that they're not a woman.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I got you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
but it's the place of feminine powers. You got the cycles. It's so
Okay.
the
Wow.
passivity and all sorts of stuff. So it's sort of the female card, and then you end up.
Okay.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking something else.
Oh, you said
the Empress is the female card. Okay, that's why I wasn't making sense.
okay.
So the Papist, you have the outer side, you have the outer, you have the ethnic, you have the outer side, and then you have the inner side of the spiritual message going on. Okay,
Okay.
I was
Like, no worries.
But
Yeah,
I
it can't be easy.
obviously since dealing with that Unicult group, I got to think of some woman trying to lead some cult right here.
Okay.
But that wasn't the this sort of thing was not the purpose with the
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Unicorn.
Yeah, I wonder how many of her $400 VHS pornographies she sold.
Oh, what?
I mean, how many people want to watch her lick a plant, hump a tree, and masturbate so you can pretend that it's you?
Yeah, that's what I want to masturbate to.
And that's literally like the description, or so. I mean, I don't remember the words of the description. It's supposed to be for your spiritual development or breakthrough or something. And it's like, no. It's
Are you joking?
And her sex dolls. You know how Nergargle did those videos about satanic sex dolls.
Yeah. I remember those.
That was a that was a lot more informative and a lot more spiritual than anything that she's doing.
Yeah, I can guess.
Sex robots to program people into being feminist or something.
Okay.
Because if you masturbate with a robot enough, I guess you might have. It's like robots don't have consent. They have whatever programs humans put. So anything that the AI does, it's the fault that humans are messing up hardcore with the whole AI thing. So whatever the robots and all that stuff do, it's not because they have a mind of their own. It's because they've been programmed away and they've been allowed certain things. So people are responsible for what the robots do very much.
Okay, now. So that's what they're exploding.
So this is the Empress card, and I don't know if you got it yet, but as I said, one of the things that I thought about with this is that when I went out there and did my summer, probably the only there's going to be two significant full solar eclipses in my life. One is past, and the other one is going to be probably I'm not going to be able to get into the middle of it.
Okay.
If I can figure out how to get in the middle of that thing in 2004, I'm going to be in the middle of that, and I'm going to do another ritual. But I'm going to try to find a place where I don't have a crowd. Because I want because I have experiences where there's far more of the experience than I remember. Now you can't express everything, but if I record it, at least what I'm saying, I'm going to remember. I'm going to have that forever or something, and I'm going to have the circumstances and all that stuff. So even if I end up writing a little one of those little books that are like 10 pages or something as a result of an experience, or at the very least, it's good. Something about using those specific things. But anyways, I have two flags. You know, you're as I said, I don't know if it happened. But so just like this one is, there's an inner side and all that sort of stuff. The female's not completely out there, you know. So the woman's in the tent, but that doesn't mean she's like all held back and suppressed and everything. Obviously, and obviously, and it tends to be the woman protected is one with a certain level of control or something over people. A certain level of honor. Modern society doesn't honor women for being different, which it's like
exactly.
And it's more than just not having something or having something here and there, you know what I'm saying, in a purely physical sense. But the emperor is sort of the more active he's totally out there. See, you see the contrast in the Empress.
Oh, the contrast. Yeah, exactly.
So he's completely out there.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can see that he's definitely out.
the Crowley card is even more male than this one, but they're different. They're different aspects of the self, you could say, a person goes through.
Oh yeah, okay.
You have the Pope. The Pope is the religious official.
Oh, is that the Pope? Oh,
that's the Pope card.
Okay, yeah. What he symbolizes, right? Yeah.
I personally take it beyond that, because like
exactly.
I said, there's the people outside. When you say I'm it's one thing. You know more, you're better at the ritual, and you lead the ritual. That's
exactly.
I honestly very much hope that some of my material that people are going to take it and go further than what I'm doing. I decide to present something. I decide to do a ritual. I decide to share share something that I've come up with, or something like this, and somebody watching it, even if they didn't spend 2 hours meditating on the verses, or some of the stuff that I share, I can't really rely. I can't really rely on a stream to go do. It's like some of these operations were over 2 hours. A piece, and some of them are multiple operations and stuff like this. I can't, you can't really share all that on the channel, and it kind of interferes. It kind of interferes when one's really making a point of recording everything, anyways. But the person leading the ritual, the person giving the opportunity for the initiation, and as I said, with my scholastic presentations, the spiritual act for me. It's if it's the other material. Like I don't know if you saw any of my poems that I posted. I decided to stream today or something.
I saw them.
I'm hoping somebody somewhere has some experience with some of this stuff that maybe that goes beyond what I do.
Do you think there are many?
I do hear some of it, and some people I don't know, and some people.
Do you get many feedback on your stuff, or nowadays, or
I get regular feedback. I get a lot of feedback that's not on the comment section. There's comments that I will get that I don't. Now I think recently somebody said the person's of age, but I think their mother forbade them from watching my channel or something like this. I haven't heard them for a while. I thought maybe they figured out that they lived somewhere near where that I've done a video or something like that, and I'm like, but it turns out not. Because some of those places I could have gone back to. Some of them I don't know if I'm ever going to even be in the state again. But but the love card is not just a marriage, but a contracts. And
contract.
I'm not sure unless that guy, unless the bald guy is her husband. I don't know if this is representing a woman married. It could be her husband's dead, and she's talking to his ghost, or she's having a relationship with the animal. There's certain terms there. Hopefully nothing triple X or anything, but they I had to throw that one in. You had the blind and all that. So and you have the cart, which is usually called the chariot. It's the card where you realize your sensations, your emotions, your thoughts, your body, your mind,
it reminds me of,
it's a vehicle.
It reminds me of the sun Surya. Have you seen that god Surya? The sun is like the soul, and the four vehicles of the Surya sun, kind of like that.
Yes, it's there's a lot of metaphors like that, and I'm the Golden Dawn. One of the Golden Dawn preferred images for the whole chariot card is this chariot being pulled by 3 horses, and I'm like,
the 4 horsemen, or
no, the 3 horses. The 3 horses is the typical Hindu image.
Typical Hindu. That's what I've seen in the Surya god. It's like 4 horses, I think, and it's like mind, body, spirit, or something like that.
Soul, spirit, or something like that.
Yeah.
are the elements or something like that, which is shown by like the cherubs or something in the corner of some chariot cards and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I know
But
the you know, the Vedas, they have like 4 different body types, like Kippa, Kappa, or the Chi, they have like fire, water, air, or something like that.
well, they have metal and wood are 2 of the ones in the
Oh, really?
in the Chinese
Yeah,
stuff.
you mentioned that. Yeah. I remember you mentioned that.
Okay, what fire, air, water, metal, wood? I don't know if that's the right order, but
Yeah, fire, water, metal, wood. Yeah, wood, that's like earth, right?
wood and metal kind of encompass earth.
Oh, okay, then it makes sense. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, everything's like a vehicle. So when you it's like your circumstance itself is a vehicle, and that kind of, you know.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that's really where the Holy Grail is. The Holy Grail is right there, and you know, and the Justice card, here.
Yeah. Oh,
whether it's ignoring something or paying attention to something, you got to make an adjustment. You got to sense what's right.
Okay.
Now a lot of people impose stuff on us that we have to perhaps deprogram ourselves to.
Yeah, to see true justice, because usually we see justice as a kind of, it's like we're pre-programmed to see justice in a certain way based on the culture, and is that kind of the deal, or?
Yeah, I was told about something that happened quite some time ago, and I don't know if, for example, the person that was one of the people being talked about that had issues with it, I don't know if they were actually part of the group that did it or not. They just weren't part of it.
Okay.
You know? But they basically it wasn't. They didn't believe in killing for race. They believed in killing people if someone was guilty, and the fact they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't investigate. They just followed some rumor and went off and killed someone. And even so that was considered a, you know, that was the problem, is they were totally blind about it. They just got an emotion going.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Some
bias,
groups like prison killings, a lot of them, they don't know what happened. People just run off and do whatever.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time.
And some people, and some of them are surely like, I understand this happens more with white people. Is like for one, you know, blood in, blood out sort of stuff. They have to. People literally have to go out and do something, and you want to be an elite person in a gang. You haven't killed anybody, dude. You're here for like 20 years, and you know, just you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I could get out someday, you know.
Yeah.
But people really give up after 5 years. People really give up. But the hermit, the hermit in this deck is,
Oh, the hermit. Yeah.
You know, I guess, you know, he's hailing the person on the inside, but the person on the inside is going out. So the hermit is the inner side of things. But the inner side, while you're in the outer world, you're pushing through all obstacles of life. And the Crowley deck, they're pushing through wheat and some other stuff. So I finally got a tarot deck that I haven't that I've heard about, that I haven't seen actually.
Yeah. You got a new one, or?
I never saw this deck in person. There's a Halloween tarot deck.
Oh, really?
There's actually a Halloween tarot deck.
What? There's actually a Halloween. What? How does that look? Like, is it like skulls and like these?
It's demons and ghosts and skeletons. Is that it? Bats for air, ghost for is ghost water, is skeletons earth, and demons fire,
interesting.
something like that. So it looks like one of those cartoons from like the 80s, 90s or something like this. It's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
So I thought I could perhaps I
Yeah.
thought that would be a deck that most decks, I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to get anything new out of it. I might as well just pull out a deck I
Okay.
haven't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like as I'm saying,
Yeah.
the Crowley deck.
Mhm.
You know, there's collectors that want every edition or something like this. So every so many years, there's a new print
Yeah.
out, and they get a copy. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but some of those, a lot of the new decks, which are less informative, less useful.
Yeah.
I mean, because they don't
Mhm.
address as many things right on the card. They're
Really?
supposed to be like, it's like
Yeah.
this deck. A lot of decks,
Yeah.
most of the decks I have are a bit more
Mhm.
themed than this one. Although this does,
Okay.
there's stuff that's come out with this deck that hasn't come up with others. But
Oh, really? Okay. Cool.
the Wheel of Fortune,
Mhm.
I guess ignorance is ascendant here because you have,
Yeah.
you know, you have the donkey climbing the thing.
Mhm.
So
Really?
always you have a guy going up, a guy going down, a guy going in place. And
Huh. Yeah.
so what's that guy? He's
Mhm.
he holding a moon or a disc or a coin or something.
Yeah, I can't see it really. Huh. The guy at the top or at the right or the left or
Well,
yeah, I see
whichever
three.
one you have an idea on is what's going to come forth.
All right.
The Wheel of Fortune
I'm
is basically
yeah.
your control of your actions, your control of your consciousness.
Mhm.
Whatever happens in life, good, bad, indifferent, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that kind of image came quite easily in when looking at the card. This card is like subconsciously easy to recognize in a way. I noticed. Like it's in our subconscious to recognize certain things easier. I noticed. It's like very interesting.
the order of 9 angle ones aren't so easy because with this
Really?
card in particular, because
Mhm.
they usually have like some crystal with multiple sides and all sorts of other
Really?
stuff, and people
Okay. Yeah.
not your 4-sided Onek typical crystal
Yeah.
use.
Okay. Yeah.
Which if they're sharp, if you got a 4-sided crystal
Mhm.
point and it's a sharp thing, even if it's a
Yeah.
little 1-inch little thing that you can get as part of one of those $20 kits of
Uh-huh.
platonic solids or something like this, which usually has an
Mhm.
extra like a sphere and a
Yeah.
Merkaba point or something like this. It's
Oh.
like I just want the
Yeah.
platonic solids. I want dice like things. I don't want
Okay.
I don't want an extra marble or something like that. Although if I don't have to pay any more, I guess I'll get it that way.
Maybe you can do your own tarot like that, and then replace the like improve the ONA tarot card in a way. That could be cool.
Make it more recognizable. I did a series where I did a series of sketches. A series of
You did?
sketches that basically encompassed
Oh.
the thing, the difference that I noticed with that deck.
Okay. Wow.
I didn't redo.
Oh.
I didn't copy out his deck. You know, but
Yeah.
I mean, I sort of did as like I did with the Company of Thoth Tarot.
Yeah.
The Company of Thoth Tarot was
Yeah.
a painting series
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
expressed the Crowley deck,
Mm-hmm.
but it encompassed some stuff that wasn't and another. So
Yeah. Okay.
so you can look at
Huh.
there's a playlist. I basically
Yeah. Sure, man.
a pin
Yeah.
drawings.
Okay. Do you have how are your videos on YouTube categorized? It's like do you have playlists or?
I have playlists. People can click on the
Oh.
channel, and particularly
Wow.
I hear it's easier once you're subscribed, whatever. But
Yeah.
a person
I figured you have 7,000 videos. You gotta have some playlists with this.
I'm approaching that. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So you have like a Lovecraft section. And
yeah, I have an
like
HP Lovecraft. I have a Crowley. I have an AE White. But usually it's
Okay.
usually it's sections like
Mhm. Yeah.
if this is totally sometimes like.
Yeah.
Like when I did a demonology tarot, I had to have that on the Satanist playlist too, because
Oh,
that's
really?
obviously talking
That's
about
cool.
demons. So I have to have that
Yeah,
on the
wow.
same thing.
I gotta check that out too.
I try not to put
have
so
a lot
much
of videos
things,
from y'all.
so much things on the
Mhm.
Luciferian list, because Luciferian is in. I'm realizing for myself. I'm actualizing for myself. I talk about
Mhm.
the Lucifer principle, which is
Yeah.
widely misunderstood. But
Yeah.
and no,
Really?
no, I was calling myself Luciferian like 8 years before I found out about Michael W. Ford. Like 2003, I heard
Yeah.
back in the 90s there was this book,
Mhm.
The Lucifer Principle, and I ended
Yeah,
up
I've heard
reading
about that book. Yeah.
Howard Bloom. I'm trying to get Howard Bloom to appear on my channel.
You mentioned him many times, I think.
I've communicated with him privately. I'm trying to get
What?
maybe now I have enough subscribers that'll
Yeah.
he'll agree to appear.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
but it could be he's very Zionist. Religion to him is
What?
Zionist,
Really?
and therefore that presents a huge issue right there with me, because now I can keep my mouth shut about that and just talk about vitality of responding to life and conflict and being the one that survives and all that sort of stuff. I can talk about that stuff, but don't ask me to favor some blood and soil supremacy thing of suppressing brown skinned people because you moved down here and for the north and all that other stuff. No.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And I do see a difference, but there. But anyways, you know that's. But so the strength card here.
No, it's strength card. All right.
It's you know, a lot of these things can be narrowed down.
Yeah.
So usually you have a lion or a tiger or something, and are they opening the mouth or are they closing the mouth? But here the thing is that you know, it's not that these things aren't there. It's that you're in control of them, just like the Wheel of Fortune card, but you're controlling them in a different way. It's like Crowley and his the people he inspired tend to call this card the lust card.
Okay.
But he's riding a donkey and he's a fool, so there's this folly and ignorance to every single card in this deck. So there's that side going on there. But but yes, he's like hunched over, like is the donkey just coming to a stop, and this guy's riding the donkey like it's some sort of of race horse or something that's like, or it's a mule maybe.
Really? Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Which,
all right.
Just because people are out of sight, you know, people probably don't see you when you're out there. And really, you know, people are out there in the castle, other people out down by the road, and maybe no one's looking at him, and so he can be totally foolish and whatnot. But
that's interesting. I like it reminds me, maybe it sounds silly and all, but when I'm like in the shower, I usually sing better because I don't have any eyes on me, but I sound more foolish, but it's like okay because nobody's watching, kind of like maybe that's not really.
I remember younger, whether it's skate parties or whatever, some random fellow youth pulling you onto the dance floor, and it's like you get more into the dance, but you're not as good at the dance because you didn't memorize the moves or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they teach you square dancing and all that other stuff, and like.
I can relate to that one. It's like
I remember in school before we hit puberty, they taught us square dancing in this one school that I went to, and like but you want a trance dance, you want to do something symbolic. You're not just following some random some dance moves you saw in a video, or you're not doing a straight up this or that or the other. You're But in my defense, I never hurt anybody. I never stepped on anyone's feet or anything like that. So you know, it's not like that bad, but you know.
Okay. I mean, it's like,
but you know, it's there's a saying about true strength not being it's not that you can lift a lot of weight or something like this. It's
exactly.
It's that you're in control of what you're of your bodily actions, basically.
Oh, that's a good definition of what this card was about. You could say. Which,
you know, like I'm allergic to dogs. Dogs aren't the cleanest of animals. Whatever.
No, I'm allergic.
I can basically direct. I can generally direct It's like there was some dog running around. I didn't even see whose dog it was.
Really?
At 10 o'clock at night, out there in the dark, some dog barking, and I'm like,
oh, I hate that.
It's like,
yeah,
I think it was a dog, anyways.
yeah, it must have been, since they're the only animals that are really annoying, so it must have been a dog.
Oh yeah, other animal. It's wolves will
yeah.
a wolf or a coyote or something would have torn into me probably if they first before making a ruckus.
Oh really?
But I can you can gesture with your hands and all that other stuff. So it's like if you're a fighter, it's like there's you can say that a weaker fighter is the big old guy that just goes around starting fights all the time rather than and it ends up not being this guy tends not to end up being the champion because he doesn't control he doesn't think about his move, and even he may get beat up more because he's off there throwing the punch and not thinking about the counter punch and where the punch is landing and all that sort of stuff. You just
it's like Aikido. They use those people against themselves. Like Aikido is about control, and the other is like just wild, and using like his strength against him. Like,
and people go this male, female, whatever that they go too far in that whole gender thing, because every card is about you. You're the queen, you're the empress, you're the emperor, you're whatever. The strength card, that's more of a male card. The hanged man is more of a female card, you could say, but it's a man card. So whatever. But and typically, and some of the emperor cards have that cross leg thing, like some of the hanged man cards has. But you're familiar with any of this northern mythology about that you hang from the Odin, the god of wisdom hangs from the tree, and he sees the alphabet, and he knows how to use the alphabet mystically and all that. So it's the same sort. There's that theme among other alphabets or something. That's where they get the tree of life or whatnot.
Well, interesting.
And the runes end up going back a 30-something thousand years or something older than people think they did.
Oh, really?
So it's hard to tell how many runes were in which alphabet or whatnot, and how, but they go back. They go back clear till almost the start of anatomically modern human 30-something thousand years ago, in where Europe meets Asia, and places like Austria and Bosnia and places like this, you have runes.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
People thought that the Romans needed to influence the Europeans for there to be runes. Wrong.
Oh yeah, I don't buy that.
Ogams and runes and that sort of thing. That sort of stuff existed for tens of thousands of years at least beforehand. So
I think so too. Actually, I think there's also this theory that the Nazis they were like stealing the runes for their own nefarious purpose. Like they don't even represent them right or something like that. Do you think that there's something to that, or?
Well, if they use the symbolism and then you use it to their own ends, it's not necessarily they didn't represent it right. It's like I was telling you, the Nazi flag. Look up the German Christian movement of the 10s and the 20s or something like that. And that's the Nazi flag.
Christianity.
It turns out that Hitler. I saw this film where they visited Hitler's childhood church.
Yeah,
at least one of them. It had a big old swastika. It had a big old swastika in a circle up on the thing, and it was tilted to the side too. People are like, "Oh, if it's tilted to the side." But you know who came up before Hitler was head of the Nazis? I shouldn't call it Nazis because that's a slur. Whether I agree with it or not, I should not be disrespectful. That it's not going to serve any purpose.
Exactly. A
Bolshevik Jew in particular started the thing of calling the NSDAP Nazis, but you know who did far worse than Hitler's Germany? The Communist Revolution. So the Communist Revolution, they killed more people, they oppressed more people. They're sort of exactly.
Yeah, they did.
But they killed a lower number of Jews. So is that why we get the impression that they're, you know, if you kill 20 million people, but you kill fewer Jews, or less Jews get killed under your watch? It turns out the soldiers of Germany did not kill most of the people killed in the Holocaust were particularly among the Jews and the predators and maybe just even the gays. Most of these people were killed by the townspeople.
Okay.
The soldiers at least neglected their safety, and people are like, "Oh, wait, these guys are in town. We'll take care of things." And I'm not sure. Half the time, I'm not sure unless it happened more than once. The soldiers doing it may not even known until it happened what they were allowing the people to do. So you'd have hundreds or thousands of people killed in an area when the soldiers marched into town by their own people. We have a different government now. We have a different set of death penalties. We're gonna, but again, like something that I hinted at before is like, one, this was just straight up killing for this was straight up killing for like, you know, supposed race and group, or rather than people's own actions. Actions actions is where death penalty should lie, you know. But this guy is you know, now there's punishment of hanging somebody from a tree until they die, but
there's this curse is anyone who hangs on a tree. That's what Jesus said to, right? Oh yeah. But I can see. That was a form of hello?
I pressed the wrong button.
Okay. That was like a form of punishment back in the days, or?
Yeah, but one of the things, there was meditation, and but there was also the willingness. This guy, he seems worried, and he's holding something in his hand. Is he trying to feed the birds or something like that? So he may be. It may be an auto-sacrifice, or it may be a meditation practice or something that's being hinted at.
What a funny card.
Not as obvious as other cards, but this is a willing thing. This generally is a willing thing. You're doing this for a cause. Now a lot of people are just, I'm going to die just to, you know, no, you gotta be more than just some martyr. And so the hangman, the death card, the death card is change. I don't know. I mean, we don't have to put
the death of something and something new being born.
So this is a totally negative card, but the thing is that change isn't always bad. And obviously this guy's worried. Hey, I'm right here behind you. You're gonna die. It's like, I remember with my before my one brother took initiation, took an oath with a guru or something like this, or something like that.
How old is he, by the way?
Like I don't know, 30 something.
Is he a little brother, or?
My youngest brother is 30 something.
How many siblings do you have, by the way?
I think he's like 33.
Like Jesus's ministry. Okay.
But I used to tell him, don't go to sleep until you're ready to die.
Okay.
So every day I go, I try to make it be as prepared as possible before I go to sleep.
Wow. All right.
It's like, no, you never. It's like, no, but you do. You prepare to live forever. You prepare to die right away. So you prepare for whatever loss that's going to come your way. Not that you're not that you're listening to some of those songs of one of those, those emo. Well, we have a fools deck, so let's call them the emo fools. That like they're going to be raped or killed. Just listening to music that prepares them to be raped or killed or something like this, because it's just how the world is. And first of all, that can make it more likely, and second of all, that's not really, So but he's got a box. So box is like a mental construction. So so this guy's mental image of death isn't quite where it should be. Of loss isn't quite where it should be. But he can work on that. He can work on that thing. All isn't permanent. All is without a self. Well, but all is without. There is a self, but it's not quite the self that you imagine it to be in your box. The Temperance card, if you follow it from the beginning, the Emperor and the Empress and some of the other stages in the journey, they switch positions. The male and the female gets mixed, the positive and the negative, the up and the down, they're all mixed here.
Okay.
And the Golden Dawn.
Why is that the case? Or why are they mixed then suddenly?
Well, they're mixed, but you have a balance between the forces, and you're trying to perform a balance as far as the situation is concerned. And it's like so it's a different sort. It's a you know
yeah, temperance is a balance. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, what you saying? Or
because it's not you know, whether you're hot or you're cold or whatnot, or what you're responding to, you're still you know, you're balancing it out to be how you should be in the situation.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But the Temperance card, you see the ascent and descent sort of thing. So this is a card where the left-hand path and the right-hand path meet. I mean, the real left-hand path, the real right-hand path.
The real one. Yeah.
not some I want to be punk, so I'm saying that
exactly.
I'm super evil and it's the left.
Super evil, emo boy.
And you know,
I'm anti-cosmic Satanist.
somebody that
like stupid rebellion, like fuck off. Whatever you say, just fuck off.
Yeah, making it's like every chance you get, you're throwing in some reference to how you hate Abrahamic religion, and it's like, well, be yourself or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it agrees with or not. And did I? But I don't really have a meme because I really hadn't worked out this system beyond which verses to use.
Okay. Yeah.
But so in the Golden Dawn, they have two sorts of cards. One represents the angel magic, the other represents the demon magic. But of course, I say it kind of you know.
What? Really? It has two. Is it one angel card or one? Oh, that's interesting.
So Temperance in the term of Solomonic terms.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, like I'm saying, perhaps you want to deal with the. It's like perhaps the person wants to deal with be an exorcist instead of a carcist, because what if they what if he falls short of the
carcist?
A carcist. You know what a carcist is?
No, what's a carcist?
So there are three ways to respond to demons. There's the demonologer, there's the carcist, and then there's the exorcist.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess there's a person who just doesn't have any belief and just is psychological or whatever. Just ignores. Which, if you're saying there's evil, if there's evil or ignorance or whatever term you're going to use for that, then you end up with an issue. Is that you're not dealing with the problems of life. So the Temperance card, the guy is dealing with the problems of life. He knows it's not all peachy keen. Like if the person ever gets married, if they think the person they're marrying is perfect.
Yeah,
they're not in love. It's going not. They're not in love if they think there's just some perfect person, or like these women that for like a couple months you go out with them, they don't even use the bathroom when you're around. They like hold it all day long. They'll hold it for hours because they don't want you to. They want you to have deeper feelings about them before you. It's like, I know you go to the bathroom, woman. You can take a break. You know, I take a break every couple hours. You can take a break too.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. I've never heard something like that before. What the fuck?
Or you have to go out with somebody for 3 months before they will talk to you when they're on their period, because they don't want you to know that they're ever in a bad mood or whatever. It's
exactly. Oh my god.
But
that sounds like narcissism to me.
Yeah. They're people have issues, but one responds to the whole gambit. But so they have two versions of the card. The Crowley deck seems to talk about more from the demon magic side, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter in that way, because again, as a rule, these people are tending to give their power to the one or the other. Does it matter if they're praying to angels who aren't really their gods, aren't really going to and probably aren't going to answer them anyways?
Exactly.
Or some demon that whatever is going to show up, it doesn't. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessary. Yeah, exactly.
So
like the demon there. Yeah.
But there's a mindset, like the Bhagavad Gita talks about. So if you worship angels, here's
Mhm.
what happens to you. There's a sort of realm that you go to if you're an angel worshiper, and the sort of realm if you go worship the demons, if you worship the ghosts or the ancestors or whatever,
Okay.
then you go there. And
All
if
right.
you worship the material world, you worship there. But what if you worship
Yeah.
God beyond all these forms and whatnot that are created? Then you attain to that level. And okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And perhaps
All
before
right.
that you have what's called, like in Arabic you have the Lahut, and you have the Absolute in the Kabbalah. And the Kabbalah you have the Absolute.
Oh.
They're both the same thing. It's basically a created realm where you understand the qualities of God, but it's not God. It's not God in its essence. It's qualities in which God is shown through the universe, but you're understanding them beyond the male and female and the various plants and animals in which you understand them in life.
It kind of sounds like thought forms to me, like servitors or thought form, kind of like they're helping us to like understand something, but it's not really the being in it, not necessarily the being in itself. It's just a force we need to master or something like that.
Elementary ideas. I think time wise we need to start lowering our volume, I think.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah,
on your behalf. But so, and then we have the devil card. I've got my the Crowley deck. Whenever you have the devil card in the Crowley deck, you're going to have it in 18 or older video. Every channel, every server that checks their videos, they're going to make your video 18 or older, because Crowley really, the Crowley deck really has some nudity. A lot of most decks have nudity. I think this Fool's Tarot deck, which doesn't have any nudity, is I don't think it needs. I guess maybe the devil there is naked, but we don't really see anything terribly graphic or something with that one. I just don't think it's necessary. Like every princess has to have her breast hanging out. Why?
Okay.
Well,
yeah, it's not necessary.
Because everybody wants to see a woman in her teens and 20s. Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
But so
it's like rebellion for rebellion's cause.
The devil card. So everything is linked to something. But typically people are completely unaware. So this guy is being pulled along. This guy's being led. But does this guy even know? Does this guy even know that he of his ignorance and evil, that he could be doing like good in the same area, but he doesn't even know it?
Yeah, this is like kind of the card that's easy to like understand and interpret in a true way, like the other wheel card. It's like very simple to see that the evil behind him, and he's like unaware at the same time, and he's like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like
it's like the Rift. Now I know the song's about cocaine addiction, but I always think of the devil with
Good analogy.
You know what song I'm thinking of?
No. Which artist? Was it, or
is the Master Puppets?
Oh yeah. Now I remember. And the Master Puppets. What was the name of the song again?
Yeah, the Metallica song, Master Puppets pulling your strings.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Pulling your strings, twisting your mind and smashing your brains. Yeah. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing.
So.
Yeah.
And we now we have the body. We have that prison of matter. This is like totally the Gnostic card. If you're going to put a religion on the card, well, actually, the stereotype of the Gnostics. The Gnostics really maybe put a magician card or something, but the stereotype of the Gnostics is that the world's a prison, the world's your enemy. It's like, well, the world for itself is.
Yeah.
We need to stop listening to just Christian writers that didn't like Gnosticism to find out what Gnosticism is.
Yeah, exactly.
I did a Gnostic and Christian Satanism series. I talk about Gnosticism elsewhere, but I did my own glosses where I tried to incorporate as much knowledge about Gnosticism in general as I could. But this guy's not jumping from the tower. On your typical tarot card, you're seeing that's so he's not the house hasn't been broken open like the tower typically is broken up open. But the tower is
Okay.
getting broken open in some cards by the natural religion, represented by the crescent or the green or something like that, is striking out at the tower in this one deck that I have. Now it's not a pro-Islam deck or something like that, but it kind of totally makes you think of the symbolism there, like using the Turkish symbolism or something like that. But this is like before the tower gets struck down. The guy knows there's a problem. He's not jumping out for safety. He's,
Oh, interesting.
But you got to be ready to leave your body or the conditions or whatnot that you're trapped in or something. But But then again, maybe you just have to leave. Something is imprisoning a person, but it's not the suicide card, people. It's not the suicide card. The stars card. So all these stars in the card, I don't know if this number of stars is important. You got 9 stars there and 3 stars there, and you got a few birds in the sky there. And you have the guy that you're talking to.
What is he wearing though? Is that like a full dress or?
Yeah, each of these guys got the full cap going on.
Okay, each of them has that, because I saw a pattern between how they all dress. Kind of interesting.
Oh, and there's 4. Among the field, there's a tree, there's a tower, there's these 4 birds flying ahead. There's a few.
Are they crows or what kind of birds are they? Is it like doves or?
Could be. I'm not sure if it's distinctive enough. They just want to make the point that there's birds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So there's divisions of thought that you're going through. You're being informed by the heavens. You're being informed by the guide right there with you. You're being informed by the earth. It's sort of a revelation sort of card. So, but the deal is with the card is the guy's obviously younger. The guy's an adolescent. I mean, he's accountable for himself, but he's an adolescent. You can tell because he's tall, but he's not quite as tall. So you get the impression that he's and he's beardless too. So that indicates towards that too.
All right.
But he's obviously an adolescent because of how big he is compared.
Okay.
So kind of like some of the earlier cards. One's teaching, but one's being taught, but one's being led along. But one's got to move forward with the information one's got.
Yeah.
Just like with this, you got, you're showing your place, you're establishing your place in the microcosm and the macrocosm. I mean, the microcosm is more than just yourself, but the compass and the square.
Yeah.
Like in the Freemasons, it represents the same things. You got heaven and earth. So the square is earth.
Okay. Yeah.
And the compass is the heavens.
Okay. Wow.
So this is cosmological rituals.
That reminds me of. Okay, is that the Freemasonic compass representation or?
Oh well, they incorporate this thing. The tarot actually predates the Freemasons, by the way.
Oh, interesting! Wow.
But the
all right, so they.
But in a way, some of the groups that got blended into the Freemasons would have known about the tarot, and they would have used the tarot. There was a church in France that had the entire tarot deck. I've seen it. It had, and it's art. The entire tarot deck. It's from 900 years ago or something like this. The entire tarot deck was represented in the art of this church.
Wow.
The stained glass and all that stuff.
Really?
Now sometimes you have a bunch of different pips in one group, and I think that's how it goes. But basically the tarot could be said to be that's why the church has turned against it, because it wasn't that it's like it was less graven imagey than the church stuff, because it was actually hieroglyphic and it had a message. It had a message, but it was available to the general public. The tarot deck is like a hieroglyphic book that's available to the public that can be used without the priest's supervision.
Without priest supervision, exactly. That's they want. Yeah, they didn't want them people to be like guided from the subconscious, from the archetypal world. But okay, listen to the priest only. Yeah.
And instead of blood raining from the sky,
Yeah.
is that a Slayer song?
I don't know.
Who writes that? Raining Blood.
Never heard. Yeah.
Oh, Raining Blood's one of those more well-known songs.
All right. Never heard of that actually. All right. Yeah.
Which even if I knew it on guitar, I couldn't play it because that would strike me my.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
It's hard to tell how many times you can play a particular sequence before you're lost. How much of a song you can play before you get pulled or something. I've had little blips. I had a channel delisted. They informed me because somebody.
Have you ever had a music channel or?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've had I had a video delisted because somebody drove by in one of my videos and their song was playing for like 1 to 3 seconds or something like that.
Okay.
And so they muted it. They muted 3 seconds of some song from some car driving by.
Why would it mute that one?
That doesn't even. I mean, that falls under YouTube poop. That's completely
just a 3 second.
But YouTube goes beyond copyright laws and stuff like that.
So of course. Yeah.
They go beyond these terms of service that they put on you if they think you're poor.
Yeah, definitely that one.
So some stuff, but the cosmological rights, drawing down the moon, using of menstrual blood and childbirth energy and all that sort of stuff. But cosmological rituals, like I talked about the pentagram, right? You don't have to. It's like you're mentioning a cosmology that you're working with. You got fire, air. You got air, fire, water, earth. You got divine angels, demons, self, and you're representing the placement of yourself among that and all that stuff. But you don't have to pray to all the angels and demons, all that sort of stuff when you do that stuff. People who do it's like people with a tarot deck. They worship everything they can possibly think of when they're doing the deck, and it's like. I don't think it doesn't seem like it generally helps. It seems like it generally makes it worse, if anything. But
it sounds like that.
So you're liberated through your own efforts, which can be an innocent thing. The Sun card here.
All right.
But it's not quite time. Sometimes you have a child on a horse. Sometimes you have 2 children outside a wall. Whatever the case is, you're liberated through your joy. You're liberated through your own effort. The time hasn't come, but don't worry, you're going to mature and things are going to get done.
Yeah. Okay.
But one's definitely
don't worry.
You initiate your own process.
Wow.
The Judgment card.
Yeah.
I have a deck where this is like the torture card.
Okay.
I was going by a store that was going out of business.
Is there a connection? Yeah. Okay.
But this is a chart in the Crowley deck. It shows how as time goes on, the type of judgment changes. So the system may change from time to time. Like
that's so interesting.
Like what if
the system changes from time to time too?
it's like you can tell from the Bible that not even not even what they call the New Testament was meant to be for not too long in the future. It wasn't meant to be a global religion.
Wow.
Not except for the lost sheep of this land, basically, was what the Bible has Jesus say. But so
the Christians are really way
It's like, but at that time, every area had its own local stuff. You had local clothes, you had local food that there were rules against. There were extra taboos that were not part of the social situation, but they're not part of the international social situation. We need to drop all that stuff as requirements at the least.
Sure.
In my country, where if you have a flag up because you don't want them to beat you up or something, your neighbors won't beat you up if you have a flag up front. Well, they probably won't anyways, but you know.
Yeah.
That's what people to the point where people are having flags in their Christmas decorations and stuff like this because they're. But and there's frogs and there's frogs and birds and stuff. There's like plagues raining down. So it's like this negative judgment. People judgment is just having an opinion. People need to stop and acting like judgment is just like some plague and analyze everything, too. But like judgment's not negative or positive. It just depends on the situation.
It depends on the intention. Yeah, the situation. Yeah.
And sometimes when you're going through the difficulty, difficulty may be atonement. Rather than someone else dying on the cross for you or something like that, you're difficult you go through life. If particularly if you don't decide to suffer with it, it's you know, whatever. But that doesn't mean like those videos that they show prisoners.
Yeah.
No matter what your offense is, sexual abuse is not part of your punishment in your and you're being sentenced here. So you know, there are measures that you can do to prevent this from happening. Or if it does happen, that so they give you they show prisoners these videos, but basically telling them that.
What was the name of this card again?
The judgment card.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Righteous judgment. Yeah.
But it should be, you know, as I'm saying, like with jails, jails should be jails and prisons should be, you know, sort of exacting. It shouldn't be what the other prisoners or the guards decide. If the guards decide, oh, we're going to experiment on this guy in hard, let's put this guy in solitary until the walls start shifting on him, and then take him out, and then do it again and again every once in a while, just you know, when we think he's comfortable enough. What did he vandalize, or was he violent, or did he break some other
exactly.
Not really, but you know, whatever, we're going to figure something out.
Sure.
Or
exactly. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
But my point was that people when you're really going to have a hard time if you think that whatever the other prisoners decide is part of your punishment is only doing your time.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. But the world, see, it goes beyond the world. See, he's like looking at the world through a looking glass.
Oh yeah, that's right. Interesting.
The entire work is to be done, or it is done, but there's something beyond that. You keep on doing what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
And if you're alive, obviously.
This is easily seen. Yeah. That's why he looks like he's like tired, or what am I gonna do now?
What's that filter? That filters. There's a filter song. I got the world down my back, and I don't seem to care.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Trip like I do. They do it with this other group.
Okay.
But basically, that's a lot of what happens. A lot of people try to escape through drugs, and then guess what happens? The problems are still there. It's just they don't care as much, and things just get worse. Because you know, okay, you're super high, but then you're like in super debt, and like every other person's your enemy. That's not really where you want to be, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that's not solving any problems.
So I guess let's. I'm organizing these things here. I might as well while I'm saying there's something that we did we ever talk about Marduk, about the change of the Marduk myths?
No, we haven't actually.
Sort of mean
that could be a fun
message about that. Now I saw this lecture, and then I looked up some more information. Yeah. It turns out the Quran, the Bible, the Bible hints at it in the story of Esther. So Esther and Mordecai in the Bible. You know what Mordecai is?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Marduk lives. Okay, so the Quran has something a little bit clearer. And
the Quran has that too?
200, and it doesn't just have some allegory about Marduk. It contains an older Marduk myth than what is typically thought of post the Abraham era. So when most people believe that Abraham is like 1800 BCE or something like this, and they put his date at a time where he was fleeing the Marduk cult. There was a Marduk, there was a rise of a Marduk cult, but the Marduk cult was a there was a change. So
Okay.
uh,
It was.
So there was a change in the myth. So Marduk and Zerbata was
Huh.
you know
Yeah.
what was going on there. So
Yeah.
so originally, just
Mhm.
like in the Mordecai
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
I mean the real message behind the Mordecai thing
Yeah. Yeah.
is that Marduk
Mhm.
lives, but Marduk is in line with Esther is a variation of the name Ishtar.
Yeah. Now I got you. Now I remember. Yeah. Exactly. And the Jews stole, you know, this Marduk kind of Ishtar and made it their own kind of thing. Is that right? Or
That is part of what was done, and they minimized the killing of that queen. That queen had a lot of people killed.
they also minimized that? Oh my gosh! Yeah, now I remember. So it's true.
So, but it turns out that if you look at the older story, story is that rather than Marduk being this usurper that takes over and conquers all these other entities, Marduk and Zerbati are really in line with true divinity and all that. So
wow. What?
So instead of being like
Really?
enemies of one another, it turns out these beings are like in line with each other, which is that's like the super eureka. That's like a super eureka moment, and basically they turned it into
what?
Oh, I just had the page here somewhere.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Is
Page,
it from a home
knight,
page or
queen, king? Okay, so I wanted to organize at least the coins.
All right. Yeah.
So they turned idea is they turned Marduk into this rebel who took over the 50 names and became sort of like a god of magic. But Marduk was
wow. Huh.
completely on the side. So when they make Marduk the enemy of all these entities, the older myth didn't have it. You go back before 1800 BCE, particularly you go back before 3100 BCE, you end up with a whole different myth, and so it changed over time. Yeah. So
the myth has changed over time, even. Wow, that's fucking interesting. So what's the original? If you go back to the most original thing, what do you find there about Marduk?
So it turns out to be just it turns out to be kind of like what you hear in the Quran is there's a couple entities that knew the spiritual secrets, and over time and people made the wrong decisions with that knowledge, and people were informed by these entities what the knowledge was, but they
wow. Oh my gosh, that so you're saying that the Quran is more original in its story than the Bible?
It has the older version of the story, and it it's clear, yeah. So it has that a pair of entities, it has the
is there any like geographical, cultural reason for why the Quran would be more accurate? Because I'm thinking like those who wrote the Quran, they were like more like they had maybe more access to the ancient library of Iraq, or something along that line, maybe.
I'm not sure anybody could read that though. But but you notice the book of Esther. Now, if one goes down that road, you can say the book of Esther had more of an agenda. Did the book of Esther even mention God? No, the book of Esther didn't even mention God. It didn't mention it didn't have much of a spiritual lesson to it.
Really? Wow, that's like, wow, that's so. Oh my gosh, what a shocking kind of.
So because it's like what you sleep with the rich powerful guy, and one of you is going to become queen, right? He's going to pick one of you.
Yeah.
That seems a stupid way to get a bunch of disease.
Yeah.
And feel
Yeah.
just used up.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
some people.
Oh, wow.
It's all about it's like they tell certain people. It's like certain people.
Yeah.
Have fallen
They're
for
like,
this thing
hinting. Yeah.
that you can't be. Okay, I'm trying to arrange the cards in the most fun order as I go on here.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm getting pretty close. 8.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait. 7. 8, 9, 10. Page, knight, king. Okay. So I now have them divided into suits. So as I said, I'm getting pretty close.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's what purpose? What purpose does the magic serve? Is I guess the point of the myth. You're in the Quran version is the point of this story is what purpose does this magic serve? Is it just so people are that what people call Solomonic magic isn't really Solomon, which I've proved. I've proved other ways. I've proved linguistically in other ways that a lot of these people call this stuff Solomonic magic, and it's like, but it's there's no reason to think that it's the Solomon, the prophet Bible figure or something like this. But the prophet Bible figure is wasn't he what's the word? Wasn't he but you can establish. I mean, you can establish that that if you look at it from a historical perspective and from even a biblical perspective, you can show that these people weren't.
For secret society.
They weren't Jews. They weren't Jews. They weren't Christians. They were really something else.
Really, they were.
It's like I can show that Paul. You can pretty easily show that Paul wasn't the same religion as Jesus.
He wasn't.
Jesus didn't want worshipped. In the Bible, Jesus turns down everybody who worships him. And
are you joking with me?
And no. Matthew 7:21 indicates that calling Jesus Lord isn't going to cut it.
All right, tell that to the Christians. Good luck with that.
and then you get the idea that from the next 2 verses that if you do anything in Jesus's name, even a good deed, he's going to reject you as one who doesn't obey his law. I mean, exactly. And so in 2 instances where it seemed that he knew that somebody thought him as some sort of god or something, someone calls him a son of God, and he thought it meant was literal.
What?
And he went and exorcised the person. Another person calls him the good Lord, and he wants to make sure this woman doesn't take him to be God. It's like, hey, I'm not a God. I'm not the the sort of God that you should be worshiping. It's this one God.
And then he goes,
So it totally goes against the Christian thing, but people
everything goes against Christian things.
When they invent their own religion, when people invent their own religion, they tend to leave something written in that has an issue. And I was watching this thing where this people, it's like, well, I don't. I guess I don't need to get into that, but it's like a lot of the, since I mentioned that thing, it's like, can you, what's called Orthodox Islam, the Sunnis and the Sufis and stuff, that happened later. There were acting. Some groups popped up, and people thought that you needed to come to establish schools and thought and stuff like this in order to make sure that we distinguish ourselves from what the kings say. So the kings trying to impose this stuff. We need to establish our position in a way that survives this. And I understand that, but turning it into a different group where you can't pray in each other's buildings or something like this because I like this scholar and you like that scholar, and we have these opinions about these people after this guy died, and that are different than your opinions of what happened after he died, and like really, really.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
the Muslims have less to argue about than the other groups. They have the exact same,
Okay.
they don't have different Bibles,
Mhm.
or they don't have different main rituals or
Yeah.
something. They're arguing about politicians and scholars.
Oh, really?
That
Yeah.
that's really it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Now we're in the
Yeah.
minor arcana here.
Mhm.
And we're getting zoomed in a little bit here. So
Yeah.
let's climb the ladder up here. We have the 10 of
All right.
coins here.
Yeah.
This seems like a debauchery scene. So you have so much wealth you don't know what to do with, and
Mhm.
you start doing things like holding orgies and building golden statues.
Okay. That sounds fun. Yeah.
But every other celebrity that has
Yeah.
money to, oh, this celebrity has $100 million and they spent like half of it doing this, and
Yeah.
you know, 25 million on a house, and
Mhm. Oh yeah. That sounds great.
and guess
Here's something to me.
there's someone with like
Yeah.
100,000 something square acre, 100,000
Yeah.
square foot house or something like this. It's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
biggest urban house.
Yeah. Exactly.
This guy doesn't even feel that this house is big anymore. He's
What?
just used to it. He doesn't even feel that his house is big.
Really? Is that how it works?
Psychologically? Once you give a person,
Yeah.
if a person that lives in a place with 9 feet ceilings and
Yeah.
if they have 9 feet by
Yeah.
9 feet by 9 feet,
What?
are one and a
Yeah.
half times their height by 1.5 times their height by 1.5 times
Yeah.
their height,
Yeah.
some sort of equivalent.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can get to the point where either it feels big or small. It's completely subjective. They don't.
What?
It's
Yeah.
not as a concrete thing anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But any less than that, and it's not good for the not good for the health.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
want that much space to yourself, basically.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Now, back in the day, we had to climb under
Yeah.
piles of leaves to stay warm in the winter. And
Mm.
how cold does it get where you're at, by the way? I mean, people get whatever temperature.
Yeah. Here is like, you mean the coldest, or?
Yeah, what's the coldest it gets come February and all that out there?
Around 15 minus.
Minus 50.
Maybe. Yeah, minus 15 maximum, maybe.
50 Celsius? I don't know what that translates.
No, 15, 15, minus Celsius. Yeah, Celsius. Yeah. Yeah, minus 15 Celsius.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what that translates. I know Celsius is 32.
Yeah. Oh, you know Fahrenheit, but not Celsius. I know Celsius, but not Fahrenheit.
It's like you tell people.
Yeah, I think
it's like what I think the one time I told you it's 60 degrees, and you thought I was talking about 60 degrees Fahrenheit or something.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, 60 degrees Celsius, but 60 degrees Fahrenheit is like
Yeah.
120 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Oh, really? Is it like double or?
The hottest I've ever been exposed to is 115 Fahrenheit, and the coldest I've ever been exposed to is 20 below Fahrenheit.
Okay. Do you know the Celsius of that, or
what?
Do you know the Celsius of that, or?
I'm not good at I'm not good at that.
Me neither.
I know. I think it's like 5/8 or something, or 8/5 or. Oh, I don't even remember the right conversion.
Okay. But where you live, is it like does it snow a lot in the winter there, or?
It may or may not snow, but it has stuck every year. Yeah. But this area is not. I've lived in areas where you can get up to 3 feet on the ground. But those same areas end up being hotter areas.
Oh, shit.
It's one thing it being like a record where it's 110 degrees once.
Yeah.
Once like ever, and I was there for that. But it's another time. It's another thing being a place where it gets 110 degrees every summer.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's the difference. So in your place, it's more like sporadic, right?
It doesn't get where I'm at my current place. It doesn't get 106 is the hottest it's ever been, and -6 is the coldest it's ever been. So where I spent most of my life, the temperature range was actually -9 to 110. Now I never encountered below zero weather in that area. I never encountered encountered less than 9 degrees in that area.
Okay.
But then again, I had better heating too. And I didn't have to, I wasn't limited.
Yeah.
You know, when you're limited in your heating bill, and then you're
Yeah.
and then it gets to be 10.
Like,
Then it gets to
yeah.
be minus 10 degrees Celsius or
Yeah.
something like this in winter. You're like,
Hmm.
oh no, I don't like this, because
Yeah.
you're stuck in there, and you can only use so much heat,
Hmm.
or you're not going to
Oh,
make it through
really?
the winter with what you have.
Okay.
But
Like, I'm curious to know, like, is it a lot of like lakes and beautiful forests where you live, or how does it look there?
if you've noticed from some of the videos,
Yeah.
a lot of forest.
Okay. So
Where I spent most
that's
of my life, there's a lot of forest, but I did live in
yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
in a desert, basically.
Okay.
But not
Yeah.
too much of a desert, because, as I was saying, it could
Oh,
snow up to
what?
3 feet.
Yeah.
But it could go weeks or months, or it could go
Mhm.
every.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah. I
didn't.
got you.
You
Yeah.
know, when you live in an area like, for example, where
Yeah.
it rains an inch a week, and then you
Mhm.
move to another area where it rains an inch
Yeah.
a week, and that's
Oh,
where you
yeah.
spent 30
Yeah.
something years of your life, you really don't think of the place where it rains. If it rains 15
Whoa.
inches and it's not technically a desert,
Yeah.
you don't think of it as not a desert, because that's, you know,
Huh.
if it rains an inch a
Wow.
month, if it rains an
Yeah.
inch a month, it may not be considered a desert. So
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
really you don't really think of it as that. It has to rain less than an inch a month.
Oh shit. Okay. Wow. I mean, that must be making it a greater challenge to like keep a garden and stuff like that.
But where I spent most of my life, it hasn't
Mhm.
quite been the challenge, because
Yeah.
last year it rained
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
It rained enough to
Yeah.
only when I put in stuff, only when I
Mhm.
dug those holes, put down dry
Yeah.
soil, did I ever have to plant
Oh.
water. So
Okay.
it rained at least every week, just enough, and it did
Uh-huh.
just enough to never have to
Mm.
water anything. And that would have been the perfect year to be the first year to have a whole series of rose bushes and all sorts of stuff. Because I want to put
Oh.
you know, but you have to have it in. You have to water it pretty well, really well, the first couple of years,
Yeah.
till it gets established
Okay.
and that sort of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Interesting.
so when you have, I'm not up to carrying buckets of water
Yeah.
further away from when the hoses are going to be,
Yeah, and that can't be fun.
because
No.
you can't really drag
Yeah.
around 300 feet of hose, and
Okay.
you know, when you're
Yeah.
dragging a hose 100
Yeah.
yards, and you
Mhm.
don't know if somebody's going to drive through and break your hose again, and you can't afford that, and
Oh
you know,
shit.
people to do that on you.
Yeah.
And you have to
Yeah.
keep the thing watered,
Uh-huh.
and it takes you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh
I want to
yeah.
get enough. I don't want to get enough roses going. So
Yeah.
so wealthy
Mhm.
here we got.
Yeah.
So we have
Mhm.
the 9 of coins,
9 of coins. All right.
but rather than being charitable or maybe conserving
Yeah.
things towards one's needs, a lot of people
Yeah.
in my country gamble when they're on the brink of, can I pay my bills
Yeah.
or not? And
Oh
it's
shit.
like,
I really hate that. Like, that's
it's
so disrespectful towards money. I mean, yeah.
our
Yeah.
feeling
It's
like,
all good.
oh, I could help family, but
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
only have $50 to pay the to do the lottery this
Yeah.
week. So
Oh.
are
Yeah.
you kidding me? You have money to go out to eat every day, and
Yeah.
you have money to do this, but you know,
Yeah.
helping family, it's like,
Yeah. Oh, the last thing you want to do is help family. Family is not important.
you don't need any flavor. You have
Yeah.
rice and beans, don't you? That you don't need anything
Mhm.
to go with that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
um,
Oh yeah.
that's how they're going to be. But see, that's
Yeah.
sort of what I get for this. So
Mhm.
that's these people, they have what they need,
Yeah.
but are they going to
Yeah.
still have what they need because they're gambling?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
The 8 of coins is sort of a
Yeah. The 8 of coins. Yeah.
work card. So this
Mhm.
guy hasn't quite established what he needs, but
Yeah.
he's doing the good work regardless of the thing.
Yeah.
I was watching
Oh,
this thing about
that's interesting. Yeah.
they're talking about the
Sounds like
Ottomans and the
majority of people.
Abbasids and stuff like this. They were talking about art. It
Mhm.
wasn't art for art's
Okay.
sake. It wasn't art for
Mhm.
the individual to just prove his individuality. It's the individuality of the piece of art. So the individual work had its
Okay.
individual thing. Now this is
All
sort of the
right.
factory line. Everything's the same, but
Mhm. Yeah.
I like that idea, because just people proving their
Mhm.
individuality, you get bored with that sort of art. You see it
Mhm.
once and that's it. But
Mhm.
a unique or well done piece of art that is done for itself just once, that's
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
So that and the factory line is,
Mhm.
I guess, the most important
Yeah.
variety of art.
Mhm.
The 7 of coins.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, the 7 of coins. All right. I see.
not so much your hand's been put. They're up in the
Yeah.
tree, by the way.
Yeah, that's the tree. Yeah, 7. Yeah, there are 7 coins. Oh, yeah. Up on the tree. Yeah. And what's the other things there? We have a sky and we have some trees, some other trees.
A couple fools with a plow. The one's playing with
Yeah.
a bird.
Okay.
All these people playing with a bird. So
Everybody's playing with birds in here.
the foolishness is their thoughts, I guess.
Okay. What's that? Is that a cloud or did?
The
Let's see.
cloud almost looks like some sort of beast up in the sky, doesn't it? But it's really just
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that's intentional. Maybe they're supposed to make it like some sort of mythical beast up in the sky. But I think it's just
Yeah.
supposed to be a cloud
Yeah.
rolling over the
Okay.
mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking cloud the first thing, like. Huh.
But you got the means for the growth, and the growth is being made. So the next card from that was the tool card. But we're ascending up here. We're ascending from the lowest to the highest.
Yep.
And at each point it starts again or ends, and whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's the guy with 6 coins. He's checking out his coins. He still has balance, but he's having to be, there's a difficult with the balance.
Okay.
So he hasn't. So is he going to acquire the means in the next card? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is typically shown in regards to a church, and you can tell by the decorations. The 5 coins are built right into the building. It probably is a church or some rich guy.
Yeah.
And
what's the name of this card, by the way?
The 5 of coins.
Okay. We went from 7 to coins to 5 to coins.
Oh, well, we had the 6 here, where the 6 was the guy with the scales here.
Okay, wow. What's the meaning of going from 7 to 5? What does that 7 and 5 and 6 means?
Well, you can put different things on the numbers and stuff. That's part of what I'm trying to get out of you. So you got your balance. You got your balance in the middle there.
Yeah, 6, that's like 2
you have
right?
sort of a worry. You have sort of a worry.
Yeah.
The difficulty of poverty is obviously something to be worried about. If you're having a lacking to the point where the animals are coming and you're trying to fight off the rats and dogs and whatnot in the alley, they're like, this person's starting to get wounds. They're so sick and feeble. I'm not dead yet.
Okay.
But it's really because people, there's more than enough to go around, and there's people that I liked what I heard the Muslim Brotherhood before they were kicked out by the pro-Israeli army, Sisi and stuff like that, killing thousands of people.
Yeah.
September 11th was not as bad as what happened in Egypt.
Really? It was? What happened in Egypt?
Egypt had an elected government that said to the West that we're going to run our country for our country, and we're not going to be Israel supporters anymore, and we're going to basically have every group's going to be for its we're not going to press any religion, but we're but we're not going to, like, for example, the churches. We're not going to act like these people dressed in rich apparel and stuff like this. We're going to start maybe that's salary, when you have extreme expense accounts and stuff like this, maybe that's salary, because other people who get paid money to live somewhere so they can rent or buy a home. Well, why do these people dressed in big old fancy houses and stuff like this? Why don't they pay taxes? They have no income because they just work at the church and eat there. And get to use the church's resources however they want. Yeah, that's a salary. I think
you're right in that suspicion there.
There was this guy known as the TV exorcist. At one point in the 90s, he was making $40-something million a year.
Oh,
But he was acting like only 1,000 of that was his own income. Only 1,000th of that was his own income. Having a multi-million-dollar plane and having your own television empire,
but still acting like you're poor.
You know,
exactly.
I'm poor for Jesus, but don't worry, these suits aren't me. And I bet whacking people upside the head and saying 7 times greater and all that stuff, and
preaching poverty to everybody else while living luxury.
I bet that's a lot of fun for him. I
guess
I personally am of the idea, if you're going to hurt someone, make sure they deserve it, not just because you feel like they need to repent, so you whack them upside the head or something. And everything's like if you're not a mainstream Protestant Christian, you must have some sort of demon in you that's promoting your sort of whatever.
It sounds like you've been through a lot of Christians and you know how they operate.
I contacted him privately. I think if I paid $200-something, just like Peter Gilmore, if you pay some of these people hundreds or thousands of dollars, they'll appear on your show, and it's like, I don't make any money on my show. I'm not paying. That alone is why I can't be paying you. But if you want your ideas put in a new format and have an interview like you've never had before, come on my channel. I'll respectfully respond to you. We may not totally agree with each other, but whatever. We don't have to. You don't have to agree with everything I do. And a lot of things, a lot of stuff's going to be totally misunderstood. Like some people are going to get all thrown off by the fact I bring up 666, and it's like, well, it's mostly a good symbol if you actually pay attention to even what it is in the Bible. People are so up in one verse of the Bible that they won't get that there's another verse about the treasure.
I've heard about this theory.
Everything number wise, if you get the number stuff all lined up.
I've heard that the Jews, they took a positive number 666 and corrupted it to make it evil, to like scare us from that number or some shit.
Well,
do you think there's something to that?
Tarsus is 666, but 616 and 666 amounts to the same thing in the Book of Revelation 616, And there's another number which I indicate on the playlist. If you look at the 636 playlist, you're going to see another number indicated, and why that number is indicated is explained there. But the fact is that it amounts to the same thing, more or less. And there are other numbers that maintain as things like like some people get all uppity about this number because 777's on the gambling machines or something. But the fact of the matter is it refers to something else too. But they've twisted that number so it refers to the dealing with your shadow, dealing with the bad parts of your shadow, making your shadow workable.
That's very suitable for a gambler to do that.
So it's repressing the shadow and making it something that's like so we have the 4 of coins here. So the guy
so what's on that card?
The guy sees his hand is in his purse. They're making some sort of deal. So they're in a firm position without, there's typically some sort of 4 thing going on other than just the coins. There's work to be done. There's resources either for it or not for it. And the 3 of Cups, we're winding down with time here, so I'm moving. You're free to throw things as time goes on. The 2 of coins, obviously they're balanced, but in a more balanced.
Is this 2 coins? It's still balanced.
It's sort of like the death card, but it's sort of a more of a state rather than a station. And so this guy, it's a different sort of coin balance, because see, this balance card is he's in a good position. He's in a he's not stumbling. He's not stumbling. He's not
you can see he looks very balanced and stable as he stands there. But who's the guy behind him?
Oh, the guy behind him.
There was like 2 people, I think.
Well, his clothes are kind of there's
it was his clothes. Oh, sorry.
He's in the town as a whole is probably behind him, and he's between he's between the streets.
Okay. I saw it wrong.
And the Ace of Coins, like all the other aces, are really the whole suit at once.
But
it's sort of the peak of it all. But again, you got to go up there and you got to set your plate. You set yourself in the material position that you're going to be.
Okay.
The Page of Coins. Again, he's like this guy's like a he's like a Wheel of Fortune card kind of, you think, but
okay,
he's a Wheel of Fortune he's being trained for the future, and so he's with his birds, and you know, if you interact with the animals, like I'm not sure where you heard. Did you hear those rabbits making those sounds?
With the you're talking about the rabbit sounds I usually make. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah, okay, yeah, oh cool.
So if you figured out a way for them to respond to you, or there's some sort of actor or something that's like the animals, you get used to them, you move along to what they're doing, or that sort of thing.
Now I remember your comment. I think it's like I see them, and it's like I just get this. I just like for every animal I make a sound. Like for example, when I see this is interesting. When I see a cat, I do like. When I see like a small dog, I say beep beep binyo. And when I see a middle big dog, I say babe babe binyo. And when I see a big dog, whoopsie wobbin. So it's kind of like that.
As you run away, right?
Yeah.
But actually, one of the things about when you got a big old dog that's loose, you want you don't want to totally just face away from them, because they're going to see that as an invitation. This is weak. Guys, weak. So we're not
lions too, right?
We're full force with that one. So the Knight of Coins, he's at least got his vehicle, so it's like a young man with his tools and his car, and he's gaining his position.
Okay.
You know, the queen doesn't know what to do with that position.
All right.
Or the queen could be the one that separates herself as that, you know, the position isn't the position for itself or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And the King of Coins is basically fully established in the position and moving onward with the work. So something be down there, kind of like an ace.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And onto the swords here. Ganging up on the person, that's some people feel like so tough because they can gang up on someone, and it's like when none of you could beat that guy up or something like this if you didn't group up on him. And it gets to the point where there are big people and stuff like this that it's like they could hold their own and they would never pick on anybody, but here people have picked on them, and so either they end up picking on other people, or they end up being defeated because they've been defeated enough like that. So
okay. All right. What was that on the picture, by the way, on the card?
One guy standing over dude with a sword, and then another
okay,
a group of people behind him holding all the rest of the swords.
All right. Yeah, then I saw it.
Okay, I'm
setting. Yeah.
King of. I'm trying to set this up so that because if I arrange this, and I'm going to try to put this deck up here. Okay, so we have.
Is that a neon keyboard or?
No.
All right. Yeah.
Just a plain black and white keyboard.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Knight of Swords, he's worried and he's surrounded by weapons, just like those people that like they let everybody know they have all sorts of guns and stuff in their home, and it's like I know who to rob when no one's home. No, I'm not going to do that. But what I'm saying, they've given them, they've made themselves more of a target than if they just had a gun under their bed and you know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you say okay.
My gun's not under the bed, by the way. So if you see my gun, that's not where it is. But and that's all I'm going to say there. The Eight of Swords.
The Eight of Swords. All right.
So they have all their swords pointed up, But you got to be careful when you're in a boat and you have stuff to
Yeah.
pierce the thing, right?
Okay.
Oh, and the guy's holding scissors. The one guy, the guy
Oh,
leading the boat
really?
captain is holding scissors there.
Oh, he is? Interesting. Well, why is he doing that? Or
You can stab people with scissors too. You know.
yeah.
And the Six of Swords, there's a science,
Mhm.
but the science is probably not in trying to carry all the swords at once.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh, the Seven of Swords. Okay, so that's not the
Yeah.
science card. That's why
Mhm.
he couldn't carry all the swords at once. There's sort of a futility
Oh, he
because
could.
there was
Okay.
he put more. He's thinking about too much at the same time. The Six of Swords is a
Okay.
science, but he's not following the science.
Mm-hmm.
Or he would have kept his boat together and not poked it down
Yeah.
swords. Because you're going to weaken more than the spot where you stick in the sword. And
Oh, really?
and if you mess up and you're off to sea, that's it.
Mhm.
And if you've already weakened your boat by poking holes in it,
Yeah.
that again puts you in a weaker position. You don't want that.
Oh, and the boat here represents the kind of what you want to achieve, right? Or
yeah, so things are kind of broken there. The five of swords, he's got. I don't know if he's waiting around the corner and attacking person by person and taking their sword, or whether he's trying to work some back alley deal of selling his swords, or
interesting. Yeah. Huh.
Like other five swords, it's not really a dignified sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't get that impression. The Four of Swords, okay, they got a lot, but they're kind of, they're going to hurt each other going after trying to get this sheep. Is that supposed to be a lamb there, or what? Or that might be
a lamb, or
that might be a lamb, or something.
I can't see very well. Yeah, it's a lamb. Yeah, that's with one horn. I see even.
There is a lamb. There is a lamb there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
A lamb carrying a cross. So another lamb. The other lamb must be a lamb too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, they're chasing this. They got this animal, but they're like fighting over. It's like there's more than enough food for y'all to eat.
Okay. Yeah.
But who's going to do it?
Hmm.
Not the guy who's already got a hold of the neck and the
Yeah.
But the animal's obviously amused by these people.
Oh, really?
Running all over themselves and all that stuff.
Okay.
The Three of Swords. Oh, does she have scissors? Oh, so two blades are the scissors, and then he's got a sword down there.
Okay. What might that represent? Or
the Samson and Delilah story about the dude. Oh, my strength lies in my hair, and she cuts his hair, and his strength goes, and all that stuff, and that's symbolic of something. But the fact is that you got to limit sort of what control you let others have over you, and what truce?
Yeah, exactly.
What terms of truce? Because not all terms of truce are like fair on both sides. And the Two of Swords is often like a peace card. Peace because there's multiple, but in this there's two sides and they both have weapons and there's problems, and the father is not all watching, because there's so that's an issue with this dude. But it's typically a peace card because when you have multiple sides that can hurt each other, why go in a two losing side situation? Just stay out of it. The Ace of Swords, that sword in the stone story that you hear.
Oh, that's a beautiful card. Wow.
And sometimes,
and the fool is there again.
Yeah, always with these hats.
Always with these hats.
And the thing you got to learn, just like the star card can be tied to the Abraham. This card can be tied to the whole Abraham thing too. It's like you got to realize somebody younger than you can teach you something. I mean, we don't know even. Otherwise, people, because see, that's
this. By the way, this tarot deck is called the Ships of Fools tarot.
Yeah.
So that's no wonder the Fool comes all the time.
Yeah, every card's every card's the Fool.
Yeah. All right, now I see the connection.
So it kind of makes a more negative sort of deck, because rather than being in a good position with science, rather than being in a good position over here, dude's playing the Fool.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be the good card, and this is supposed to be the best card out of these 10 here, but it's like,
really,
you know.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
but life's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your beliefs, you got your
I mean,
actions you're responsible for, but you know.
I mean, aren't we all fools all the time? I mean, isn't, you know, we humans are so imperfect. We're like fools just by existing.
we want to be part of stuff, and we want to not to be part of stuff, and whether we are or not, it's there's always more to this. And so but the sword and the stone thing is really, people thought, oh, this guy doesn't have the proper training, he's not old enough or big enough and all this stuff. No, it's the young guy that does goes outside the expectations, and he gets you know, he's in the mind to do it. And that's the thing, his mind was there fully.
The Fool he's like
well, I meant fully with a U, but and two L's. The Page of Swords, you got, you know, he's sticking out his thing. So I don't know, is he learning from the animal? He's learning from the bird pecking at the bird on the tree.
There's a pecker. Yeah,
he's probably a woodpecker. Although some birds perch themselves and eat from this, that, or the other. But this guy he's learning from the bird. So you know,
I actually saw a woodpecker not so long ago when I was walking to the store, and I saw like a woodpecker on the tree, and I stood and I was like looking like, oh, what does it represent? So this is gonna be interesting.
So that's so he's the Page, so he's starting the journey of the of the mind. He's being trained in his mind, but he's being trained in his mind by the animals. Like there's a Sufi master who learned his technique from watching a cat that would watch mouse holes, and he would watch the mouse holes, and that's how he learned how to meditate.
What?
Not from not from somebody saying that when you pray, look at the place where you prostrate or anything else. He learned from a cat.
Oh, from nature. Yeah, you should learn from nature.
And so this guy's I guess learning on the edge of society, but he's you know.
Oh, what's this card?
He's the Knight card, so he's on the edge of society here, but he's approaching their terms, and the Queen's fully the Queen of Swords is fully in their terms, but she knows it's kind of beyond that. She's looking forlorn at this Fool's hat, and it's like there's more than just these thoughts, like philosophy for itself, quoting philosophers. You're not doing philosophy if all you can do is quote. That's not philosophy. You're just replacing. You're replacing religious scripture recitation with quoting.
You become a parrot.
It's the same thing, except probably more mindless.
That's what equating does when he represents Satanism. Sort of like just parroting, like okay, like
Well, there's certain techniques here. So we are the final sword card here is so we have a king, but the king is being informed by thoughts of someone else too, obviously.
Obviously,
But he's more established in it than the queen. Now people are going to say this sexist because when you have a princess and a prince and a queen and a king, that the male's always in the higher. It's like, well, that's sort of how it is in the outer world in life anyways. So we're not let's judge people on what they do based on what they have, not on necessarily gender roles or something like that.
That's one point more for the tarot card deck.
But you know,
it's not a sexist tarot card deck.
I mean, the fact is the decks really tend not to be. It's just that people nowadays act like, oh, they're thinking of the males and females as different. Or it's like, how many Fortune 500 companies are led by women? What? There's Oprah and there's Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
That's like
Good
it.
example.
I'm
Yeah.
serious. That's like it.
Yeah.
So
Your name is actually Winfrey too, I noticed. Oprah Winfrey, George Winfrey.
oh, that's nothing to do with it.
Okay, that's nothing. Okay. All right. Oh, you're not the New World Order agent working for Oprah Winfrey, are you? No. Just joking. Sorry.
So we move on to the cups, and you've said,
Yeah.
you know, this is the what you're going to be getting isn't as you know, it basically just has cups. But see, we have the 10 of cups. So the cup being thrown out the window is the bath water. So
Okay.
so a wasting or a disposing of what's not needed, you know, out into the world, as it could be said. But she hasn't given her. There's some issue with her emotion or something. That's why she wants to show off, or maybe she just took the chance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She doesn't look shocked that there's a crowd looking out her window while she's at least topless. And you can tell people are stepping up, trying to get a higher view. See, maybe she's totally naked. No, it's like, don't do that.
Really?
Don't.
That was funny.
I was looking up a video of I was looking up to see what people were saying about equating this week, and one of the things that somebody posted, it's like it didn't have anything to do with equating. It's just some video of some. Really? You're posting videos of you sexually harassing people in cartoon land, in video game land. You're trying to look down someone, some video of somebody in cartoon, one of these video games, and they save the clip of them following some barmaid or something, trying to look down her shirt. It's like, in a video game, you're bragging to the world that you were able to look down somebody's shirt in the middle of a video game.
Yeah.
That's going a certain level here, but
what the fuck?
So the 9 of Cups is it's spread out a bit, but you know, it's drunkenness to the uttermost sense, you can say, to us thing. Although there's more to that. You can be totally sober and you can be free of vice, and these things will still apply. You got the 8 of Cups. So you got cups in every direction and everything else. And there's animals per se. There's an animal there at your foot. So there's things that can want from you. So when you're putting yourself out there, there's still you know, things are aware that you're putting yourself out there. Just like I do agree with that thing. Coeting is right that when people put themselves on the path, there's things that were already out there. Either they were pointing them towards the path, or they were they noticed that they were doing something, and then I'm going to do a little something here, and I'm going to lead them further down this thing. But you really got to wonder why these entities are trying to get you to do all these things in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
And the 7 of Cups is a debauchery sort of card. They've almost broken their vessels and all that stuff there with that sort of thing, but at least they're still able to run their own still. But you know, that's sort of a plot thing. So, but feelings shouldn't be to stew in things and just you know. You got the 6 of Cups. You know, a pleasure sort of card. Not too much, not too little.
Okay.
And you're just,
what's the point of being balanced there, or what happens if you?
And maybe this guy, maybe the one guy's younger, so it's a short guy, but it's a child. So the 6 of Cups is often thought of as a childhood thing, because when you're a child, the pleasure kind of takes a front seat, and you don't worry yourself to the point where you're going to lose what good opportunity you have.
The ID in Freudian terms, right?
You're going to play. You're going to experience what you're going to experience. It's just there.
Exactly.
The 5 of Cups, you got these animals. You're perhaps losing a little here. But you got things spread out. So it's, again, the 5 cards in the tarot tend not to be too positive. But at least you're getting something done with this. So what natures are you feeding? So you
Yeah,
got birds. So you
Yeah.
got sort of the
Mhm.
the lust and the gluttony and the avarice
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah. Interesting. So the birds, they represent the desires here, right?
Yeah, sort of the desires, and then there's the
Yeah.
slothfulness and not paying and ignorance, not paying attention all in one animal.
Mhm.
It would have been
Okay.
nicer if you had like a
Yeah.
pig, a dog, and a snake, or if you had a
Yeah.
well, a pig.
Mhm.
You had one of those trinities of animals.
Yeah.
You have the eight's the swine and the
Mhm.
donkey is one
Okay.
set. You have the dog, the bird,
Yeah.
and the snake as
Yeah.
another set.
Are those the kind of animals that are common into tarot, or?
Whatever people want to use to illustrate the themes.
Mhm. Okay. Wow. So yeah. All right.
But
So that's
I was
varies
thinking
from tarot. Yeah.
east and
All
west
right.
at the same time.
Mhm.
You've set yourself out.
Yeah.
Let me make sure they're there. You set yourself out, and you're kind of the Four of Cups here.
Mhm.
But you're letting yourself be anointed. You're having the ecstatic bliss of the fact that you just have a certain amount of emotions.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Three of Cups is,
Mhm.
sort
What
of
the
the
fuck? There's a
past.
police car out here. Just gonna check what's this. Okay, it went. Yeah, sorry.
Making sure it's not
Yeah,
for
go on.
yourself. Yes.
Yeah. I thought maybe the neighbors called the cops and it was like the police car outside here waiting. Like, oh, you've been disturbing neighbors. You need to be put in jail for 5 days.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, they build those.
Mhm.
They build apartments and all that, so you can you
Yeah.
can watch at least some TV in the middle of the night, and your neighbors aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you do kind of tend to turn things down. That some people can't live in apartments.
You know, can I tell
They're like,
a story? Can I tell a very interesting short story? I was when I was studying at the university, I lived in an apartment here in town, and I was complaining about there was a Muslim family or like a Syrian people out upstairs, and they were playing like this Arabic music, and I was like, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, can you shut up? And I went up and I bang at the door. Doom, doom. Can you please shut up? And okay, then they became silent and went down. And then and I go to sleep, and they do it even worse. So I took some water in a jar and banged their door and put the water at the door, and they opened, and suddenly the police comes down, and they said, oh, it's time to sleep now. It's 5 in the morning. Yeah, but they're disturbing me now. It's like 5 in the morning. But I don't care. Anyway, so I think it was like 2 weeks after that, I get a letter saying that I've been kicked out from the apartment for complaining about being disturbed 5 in the morning when you're sleeping. Yeah. Anyway,
because typically, if people can understand
yeah.
you in the next apartment, it's time to turn yourself down.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I hate apartments. Yeah.
So the Three of Cups, you think past, present, future, but you're having,
Yeah. The cup represented what was again the emotion, right?
Yeah,
experience,
emotions, experience.
Emotion, right? Emotion, experience, and
like if you look at the suits, you can say spiritual experiences are the cups. Spiritual, spiritual. I want to think of something other than thoughts or something to say, but the tools are the coin, or the coins, or the pentacles, or diamonds, or whatever, and then you got the
that's because they look like tools.
The motivation or the intention is the staves or the clubs or whatever, and but you got
rightly represented.
You got your thoughts or
Yeah.
certainty, your what our concentration or whatnot. I want to think of something
exactly.
other than thoughts for the thing. I have it I've
Yeah. Maybe the direction of energy, maybe, because thoughts are energy, and attention flows where energy flows where attention goes, kind of.
well, energy is more of the fire, not the air. The air is
Yeah.
the thought, but I'm trying to think of a word to express it without talking thought, just like experience
Yeah.
is for
Yeah, that
cups.
sounds better.
Experience is for cups rather than calling them emotions, calling them experiences.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
tools rather than the material world tools.
Yeah. Huh.
So the
Yeah.
I don't know, the processing would be the air. So
Yeah.
the Two of Cups is
Yeah.
the love card, and okay, at least they didn't
Yeah.
depict that the dogs were humping each other in the street. You know,
Okay.
they're rolling around playing, so it's sort of
Yeah.
yeah, you always have an audience. People think you're alone, but there's always something watching you.
There's a God watching you.
In this card, there's a dog watching. And, oh, I've heard some
Oh,
stories.
dog backwards becomes God, right? So maybe that. No, I'm just joking. Behemoth has a song called "God Equals Dog" or something.
Yeah, spelling people backwards. So
Yeah.
that's like the. But here you have it all in once.
Yeah.
So it's all his emotions. He's crowned with all his emotions here. This Ace of Cups guy, or he sees the crown ahead of him, which is shown by the page here, who has started his working on his feelings. You know, he's not just being dragged along by his feelings, but he sort of is. So he knows there's something to do. There's the Knight. So there's a method of dealing with all that stuff. You're not just some person left to whatever
there's a method.
schools itself up. But the Queen stuff's got to be cut off, and you got to be ready to be cut off. And the motion's not quite it. But again, a person can be so established in their emotions that they can use it towards further interacting with others and all that. And then we got the Ten of Staves here. The guy's weighed down. He's just sent his willpower off in so many directions, up, down, left, right. The 4 points in between that, and he's got a couple in the middle there, and that's just too much. That's just too much. So but he could make multiple trips and probably get more done, and probably not wear out his drive, but he's going to lose that. Now the Nine of Staves has established itself into the points, but he's kind of directing the other where he's established by another, which you know. The Eight of Staves. You got to be swift. You got a wife and kids, so you got you're it's not just for yourself. You have something to do other than your basic thing with what you got, and
how to balance that,
and he has he's got to prepare for the future and maintain what's there and all that stuff.
It's not easy to. I don't want any family or children. That me, but so that's not my card.
And the Seven of Staves. The Seven of Staves is another. It's like the Oppression card again. With there's just too many staves, and what have you done? You've given them to the animals and the dwarf, and you haven't kept as many for yourselves. And but what are all these things going to do? But that cat in the corner or something like that right there is that's like the weird thing about this card is they got a place to wash up right there. But they've got that's okay, normal enough. But that cat, there's that wildy cat out there in the corner is that's the problem coming. Is that's probably what that is.
Okay. How did you come to that conclusion?
See,
is that a black cat, or I know black cats are problems, but
see, the cat's off in the car. The cat has all the wild hair and stuff like this. But you handed out the weapons to the dwarfs, and you gave clubs to the dwarfs and the dog and the lamb and the cat and but there's a wild factor, and you don't know what's going to be done with it. That's
that's true. Cats are kind of unpredictable too. So
and the 6 of staves. Okay, so you're sort of in between things, and so you're in between your buddies and the what. So your animal and your means, they have their needs.
Yeah.
Your wife or whatnot, she has her what she wants, and your buddies have what you want, and here you are, and it's like, okay, I got
what do I want?
You got to figure out. Okay, fine, do your duty, but outside of your duty, what are you supposed to be doing here? So I'm not even sure he knows the difference between the duty between duty.
Between duty and want, exactly.
And his own needs. So that's his predicament there. And now when you're so motivated that, like, as I don't know if I mentioned, we were talking earlier about the whole idea about vigilante killing and stuff like this. It's like, well, it's not that I don't oppose the death penalty. I just oppose the idea of jumping the gun with the death penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably did kill him. It's like, well, probably. How many times? How many? Some of you are going to get somebody that you're going to murder someone straight out. It's like you don't want to do that.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And so, but see, they're not exactly ordered. So, but I don't know. These two guys are sort of maybe reasoning with them. It's like, hey, let this thing be judged. Let this thing be let this thing be thought of. The five, if you follow the head, shoulders, elbows, number 5 is the left elbow, and that's like a judgment card. So it's calling towards judgment to this wild thing here. But there's a balance of the staves.
Yeah.
An arc
you can see
the staves on a show.
Yeah.
With their ribbons and all that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And the 3 of staves. Oh, he's playing a bagpipe, which is pretty cool. So this is the top musician card of the deck. Some would say the Prince of Cups is the musician card, but on this deck, this is the
Prince of Cups.
The musician is playing he's got a harp, he's got a lyre, he's got bagpipes.
That's a lot of instruments there.
And hopefully it's daytime, or his neighbors are going to be mad. Where are you out in the street playing all sorts of things? Or even in the middle of the day, you do sort of have to regard, like I don't know. I bet there's people who get out there with that Tibetan get some really loud horn, because people are going to freak out. What's that horn sound in the middle of the night? So I don't know if that horn sound that I've heard 5 times out here that goes on for minutes is not really somebody getting out some long horn and blowing on the thing, and maybe he's got it distorted or something. It's like, don't imitate the day of judgment coming with the trumpets and stuff like this in the middle of the night. But it's like, but it only happens when the Yellowstone has an earthquake. I've only heard that when Yellowstone has a feelable earthquake. So I think it's something about the vibrations of that most people don't hear it, but some people hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Exactly.
And the 2 of staves.
Yeah.
It's a dominion, but see the box.
Yeah.
The lower nature is trying to be contained in the box.
Yeah.
You're trying to contain that lower nature in the box. But the thing is, you just got to turn your lower natures towards where they are, because they're still your natures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And this guy's just riding along with all his drives, all his desires, all at once there.
Yeah, all at once. Yeah.
And so that's the 8, and the page.
Yeah.
The page makes his announcements like, I was somewhere, and this guy made this announcement, stood up in the middle of the crowd, made this announcement that he intends to marry this woman, and they're like, dude, this was
Yeah.
it's that would have been okay, like,
Yeah.
but not now, no.
Okay.
But standing up in the group and announcing before people who
Yeah.
who it doesn't, they're not family, not friends, whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just announcing to everybody, I intend to marry such and such woman, like right over
Mhm.
there, and
Interesting.
get out your ring and propose, and,
Yeah.
and we can watch you do that. Or but this
Yeah.
calling out and saying, I intend to do this work and all this stuff, like.
Yeah.
I've seen with some
When it's
I've
not
seen with
meant
some
to,
Muslims,
maybe,
they add this thing in where
Uh-huh.
it's like, if you intend to do a ritual, you
Yeah.
intend to do a ritual. You don't
Yeah,
need to say,
exactly.
you don't need to stand and say, yeah, and so everybody can hear you and say, I am washing up for
Yeah.
my afternoon prayer, which is going to be this long, and I'm going to do this, and then when you go to start your afternoon prayer, when you make an announcement for your afternoon prayer, then and that you intend to do it, you not only make the announcement, and then you say, I intend to make the announcement, and then you say the announcement, and then when you come to start the prayer, you're like, I intend to say this prayer, which is going to be the following details, and you know that
Exactly.
just do things.
Just do it.
Okay. But you know that these things are, a lot of these things are automatic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just like I think of traits.
Yeah.
If you look at the night
Yeah.
cards, the night cards kind of center in the knees, and I mean, you got the hands, you got the elbows, and you got the knees, and you're in some arrangements, that's how the knights are kind of 6 cards all at once. The pages or the princesses are just the feet. The one shoulder, the shoulder and the head is the well, the head, the
king.
You know, the king, and the left shoulder is the queen. So you got all that at once, but but the night, I think of this, I think of the knees or something like as like that. The feet is your creed. You stand on your creed or whatever you have creed based on, and your knees are like your prayer.
Yeah.
So I don't know, an animal that can kneel down is like that. But when you do it, when you're once you get past the feet, everything's like automatic. You know it's your prayer. You know, if you're fasting or doing a pilgrimage, you don't need to announce every step. I intend to do the following thing. That
you just
I know
know
I'm
it.
going to do. It's just, you're doing it.
Instinctually.
Now it's a good idea to have an idea in your head ahead of time. You just don't need to repeat it out loud.
Okay, that's what it's about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like.
It's like you can say it's like conscious and subconscious being joined together in the ritual or whatever.
And so here's unlike the devil card, here's a woman who's taking charge. No one's taking charge over her. She's taking charge of the aspects of her life. And so she's got different animals. So she's well, there's the man there too. So the man is like Aquarius. The bull is down there the cell, sort of the fire sign nowadays, not really the earth sign. And then you got the bird in the north, and the west. You have the sheep or something, which is, instead of a lion, you got a sheep. So the lion shall lie down with the lamb, but here it's the lamb. But so she's like, like the you could say the slut card. The slut card is the queen. Is the queen of whatever, of wands, whatever card. But she doesn't have to be a slut. She just has to be in charge of her sexuality, doing free to do what she wills to that degree. But she doesn't have to be just reckless or something.
Slutty.
This woman is not reckless. You can know she's not.
She's not reckless. You can say,
She's probably good to her husband, and that's the thing. If women are good to men, they really get more out of them in the long term.
Yeah.
Now you may think that there's some woman that's gonna dominatrix you and whatnot, and
Yeah, exactly.
around and all that's hot, but after a few weeks or a few months or a few years or something, you're leaving her and hoping you never ever meet another woman like that again. Maybe even being alone for the rest of your life because you just never want to deal with that again.
Yeah,
I've encountered people that's happened to because they watch this TV where the women boss around and hit the men, and they and it in real life it just doesn't pan out.
No, it doesn't actually.
And if you fear for your life and defend yourself, whether she makes it out there or not, then you're like, oh, then you're a criminal. It's like, the dude defended himself. I knew this guy was beating this and the police don't even care. Police don't care half the time. Now there's some good policemen that whatever, but they often don't care. And here's some guy getting accused, and so
we usually like judge based on pre-understanding of certain labels. Okay, that's all girls are whores and all this, and that's also stupid.
Yeah, whether it's bad talking men or bad talking women, it's you know,
exactly.
enemies out of whole groups just for the heck of it. No.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the king here, he has his own willpower. He regards others. He regards others, but it's his own opinion. His own opinion is what you know, because that's exactly. Obviously the king has somebody with him. And of course, as we've seen again, I would have liked some representation. I like it when a card, the
represents the whole deck almost.
The Thoth deck has an advantage. A severe advantage is that it's back. It may not be reversible, as in you know, you get the card and you go like this, where the bottom side, where the side that normally has the title or something is that's called reversed. And whether you whether you think that's the opposite meaning or whatever, that's just it depends.
It's up to you, or
it's totally up to the person. And we see, of course, the spreads here, which so we have a spread based on the body in your typical Celtic cross sort of thing, where you have past, present, future, the different aspects of your life, aspect, and you're just thinking of how things go along, and and you're thinking about in a more bodily way the exquisite corpse. So that's it's not too bad. There's a lot stupider of spreads that people come up with. So that's more or less comes to an end here, and I am with Lzwvmmh. And if he has any final, or Axaru he's probably most commonly known. If he has any closing thoughts with you know, with this deck here, and what we've discussed today.
I think I've gained a lot from doing these videos. I think I could have like studied tarot myself and like seen a lot of your videos, which I plan to do a long time. But I think doing these videos is the quickest and the most effective way of quickly getting an idea of what tarot is all about, and it's much more fun to do it this way too. So thank you.
Sitting around and memorizing a list of what verses to use or what other attributes.
That's not my thing. No.
Because the deck, as much as that can be part of the thing, it's tarot is about, every card is about the person, is about everybody involved. Everybody involved looking at the deck or the arrangement of whatever card selected from the deck. That's the person right there. You know, so it's them,
because
it's
people are
it's what they respond to. It's the existence that's not them. So it's both those things at the same time.
It's like people are like a context. We are our context, sort of like. That makes sense.
So you know, it's it's what's real, rather than like rather than like a church.
Mhm.
It's really what was meant by.
Oh, what's this?
It's a church that I did.
Yeah.
I visited their graveyard. I walked around the church.
Recently, or
I did a video this
Okay.
year.
all right.
So I've explored their graveyard completely.
Oh, the whole one, the whole graveyard, or
Yeah, their whole graveyard.
is it a big, beautiful?
It took like 40. It took like over one. It took more than one video to do, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So it must have been a big graveyard.
There are bigger graveyards. There's another church that they're only really open on Saturdays, except for when school's out. Otherwise, they get all upset because you're there between 6 and 6, and or they don't want you there after sunset too.
Yeah. All right.
Something that you find in some countries is they sweep the graves and say the names of the graves, and so that's actually part of what I do. I'm not worshiping the dead or the ancestors when I do this.
Yeah.
I am, as I was saying, connecting to the memory, legacy, and energy of the place and all that. But
wow. Yeah.
But I'm not, again, I'm not summoning up some dead person or something like this. But I understand people, particularly in an area that, even though most people don't go to church on a yearly basis, people are like, this is the Bible. It's like, well, it's not the 1800s anymore.
Yeah. Do you ever bring like a Ouija board over there and talk to spirits, or?
Again, as I'm saying, but we can still talk for a minute. I'm
okay.
I told you.
Yeah.
I will show you. You see.
Okay. Yeah.
I accidentally cut myself reaching down into things trying to find find the colored pencils and stuff to find it, and I ended up with I was bleeding, and I might as well make it even. Yeah, it's not like I'm going to make myself bleed anymore, but
okay. Yeah, I hope not.
The okay, well, let's.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
I took a Samsung box and from an old Samsung, and I put the numbers.
It's that easy, really.
On it, and I made a little planchette.
Oh wow. Does it work? Have you tried it? And wow.
Well, you can randomize yourself, and the great thing is Lzwvmmh that had the idea that a sage does not consult the oracle. The sage controls the oracle. So therefore, you sort of answer yourself. You can make these things a spiritual process, but you just don't rely on whatever random answer some spirit gives you or whatnot.
Yeah. All right.
6, 6, 6. It's like, but that's totally deliberate. It's like it's like when people get drunk at a party and play this game.
I'm going to hell.
It's like H-E.
Yeah. Hell. Hell. Yeah.
Or if it's like
Oh man.
Okay, Christy, what should we do? S-E. No. See, the spirits told us, woman, we have to go for it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, take suicide. Yeah.
But it's you got to be it's like truth or dare and stuff. It's like, no, dude, you're responsible for your decisions. It doesn't matter what the dare was. You don't you can do or not do things.
Exactly.
And I got the sun and the moon. So you got your variety here. Now it serves its purpose.
Wow.
It's like, oh, you didn't buy an official Parker Brothers one. It's like, or you didn't get a wood burning kit and burn one. It's like, well, you can, but
oh my gosh. I mean, it's people can be easily as fooled by divination as they can by religion or cults, or they like take it very literally, and like they forget that you know, you have to give a value to things and
Yeah,
decide how, yeah.
Even right or wrong, where the guidance says,
Yeah.
you still have to do your own thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, now I get it. Yeah. Huh.
But yeah,
Mm.
as I was saying, that the whole
Yeah.
it's your religion's supposed to mean relationship with everything.
Really?
You know, creator and created, everything. In fact, it's you know, and whether
Wow.
one way or another, it regulates things, and
Yeah.
that's just how it is. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not some top-down authority that
Yeah. Yeah.
have your interest in mind, or you don't have
Yeah.
somebody's interest in mind. You know, you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, but you, whether or not you do, you.
Yeah.
If you do what's right for yourself, what's right for
Mhm.
others,
Mhm.
that's up to the person. It's not that some person fails at it, and that's like, you know,
Wow.
it's
So
like, as I saw
that,
when
yeah.
I looked up this 1987 movie,
Yeah.
I saw the thing is,
Oh,
okay,
Hellraiser. Yeah.
there was the message.
Mhm.
There's this system, and that's and the devil in the thing is in charge of this whole thing, and so in between, you're distracted. It's distract. So the whole the thought and the spirit and all this that you're involved in, because you do see the idea that there's more than the material world in this Hellraiser movie, and but when you're in it indifferently, you don't care right, wrong, good, or pleasure or pain. You just want something different. You want to have some sort of control,
Oh,
and that can lead you all sorts of places once you're willing to be indifferent or amoral, as people.
wow. Yeah.
No, you know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm starting to worry about the neighbors. Maybe they think I'm too loud, or
it's been quite a bit, but yeah, it's,
yeah.
you know, we're all operating upon the same thing. It's like people and their bodies. Like one person thinks this way, one person's into this. It's like, well, we all have the same bodies, so it's like trying to pretend like you're inherently. It's like, well, people choose to believe and act how they choose to believe and act. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you mentioned before with the choice there. That we don't choose. You know, we choose within our circumstances, or something you said. Like, yeah, like, yeah, the opportunities we have, we like, based on that we choose, or something like you said, like, yeah.
But as one closing thought, I think maybe should be said about tarot is that you know, it's to indulge in the variety of reality. It's to respond to the variety of reality without ignoring it.
That's what many occultists forget: the variety of reality. They like, it's very isolationist. The occultism, it like becomes from holistic to a very isolationist, where you view life from a box instead of seeing that everything is connected. Like, you know, the individualistic kind of perspective that we spoke about in the beginning. You know, yeah. Like Nagago is very good at you know, making you know, his videos are very holistic, actually. Like he can speak from you know, about everything, really. And that's how I think the occult needs to be more like inclusive of everything. And that's why I love Nagago videos so much.
Well, that's why I think outside of Islam's growing, but that's why Christianity is shrinking, and Judaism, the religion, is shrinking even quicker. As a political thing, it's not shrinking, but as a religion, it's shrinking because it's like there's this whole variety of life, and you're supposed to be in tune with life rather than a separation of life like the Judeo-Christian framework tends to do.
There's so much we don't know as humans, and I mean, the universe is expanding all the time, and I mean,
I suppose I could have so there's this commentary on the You know, it's available free.
Mhm.
I mean, the book is cheap enough. I totally recommend recommend the book.
Mhm.
But the commentary
Epistles
on
of Lord,
Epistles of Lord Satan and some other
Yeah.
stuff like that, we've seen
Mm.
the use of
Yeah.
a metaphor,
Mhm.
a metaphor of the Jews
Hmm.
as a
Mhm.
technical term. Now,
Yeah.
as the technical term,
Mhm.
it is actually like the psychic priestcraft sort of forces that aren't,
Mhm.
you know, it's not quite nature, it's not quite, you know,
Yeah.
so that's one of the things that come through that comes through there.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
and in that respect, a Satanist would be
Yeah.
using the
Yeah.
would be using the energy and the mythology in his own way of those
Mhm.
own things. Now, I use
Mm.
mythology my own way, like
Yeah.
the books that it's like
Yeah.
particularly more recently, this set of books is like I think there's something I can say that I don't
Yeah.
agree with in action or belief about every single one of
Mhm.
these books, but I
Okay.
can find something in the book to work with per se, you know,
Mm.
without giving
Yeah.
myself over to the sort of control that like
Yeah.
you know, just
Huh.
it's like what I said with this book in the upper left
Yeah.
hand corner,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's no,
Mm.
it's there's this
Yeah.
force out there
Mm.
that it's beyond you
Our
know, it's
control.
beyond being
Yeah.
defined, it's beyond being
Yeah.
controlled.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not that you get
Very
drug along,
Lovecraftian.
it's like
Yeah.
it's if I didn't want to get drug along and be a white bread Christian, why in the
Mhm.
world would I want to be
Yeah.
a Satanist who gets drug along into the void and torn up by entities?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a
Mhm.
better option.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
and you just become a monster. You don't know what the monster is going to do, really.
Wow. That's scary.
Um,
Yeah. That's
and what
really
happens when
scary.
you get out of the army? You can't stop killing.
Mhm.
It's like they let you
Yeah.
do it in the army, but once you leave the army, so you join the
Yeah.
army in order to dedicate your kills, but you can't stop killing when you leave the army, or maybe you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But what if
Exactly.
you can't? A
Yeah.
lot of people
Mhm.
join the
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
a lot of people join the army and do and all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But they're more likely to go to jail, to prison and jail and all sorts of stuff after they get out.
Mhm. Hmm.
So they really need
Yeah.
to
That's
find
right.
their balance beyond that.
Mhm. In tarot, is there any card representing this?
Um, well,
Testing your tarot knowledge.
it depends on what you mean.
Yeah.
As
Like this
as
balance.
we saw in that devil card that we
Yeah. The devil card. Yeah.
of this deck. It's
Yeah.
pulling the strings, and I'm not even sure the guy knows that's why he can't get this, is because he's been programmed in a way that he can't let his beliefs and actions are holding him back, but he doesn't even know how these beliefs and actions are holding him back or where they came from.
That was what we spoke about. Like I said, are beliefs predestined, or you know?
Oh well, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. One of was thinking. I guess not talking. We were meant the
Yeah.
predestination is like
Uh-huh.
it's like in one belief you have the idea that
Yeah.
four things are predestined.
Uh-huh. Thought,
What you're going to get
emotion.
of your provisions, how
Yeah.
long you're going to live, how much wealth you're going
Mhm.
to make, and how good or bad you're or you're going to be, that
Mm.
sort of thing. But
Yeah. Circumstances.
every
Yeah.
one of those has some sort of
Mhm.
choice. Even when you're so
Yeah.
poor that
That's.
you only get what's handed to you,
Uh-huh.
you sort of have a
Yeah.
choice. It's how much you can
Yeah.
use those does depend
Yeah.
on what choices you make with those to some degree.
Wow.
If
Can
I,
you
if,
give one
if I,
example of that?
for example, with my health
Yeah.
issues, if I stopped at a
Yeah.
food bank and just ate whatever,
Mhm.
I might have been given food for the rest of my life to survive till I'm 100 years
Yeah.
old, but I would have
Mhm.
died in my 30s if I just ate whatever garbage they fed on me, because I would get so sick that there's only so much injury you can do to yourself with chemical food before,
Yeah.
you know, if
Yeah. That's right.
if it's most people just get cancer or something. But
Yeah.
some of us, it's
Exactly.
like we have to stop. There's a point in our life where we can't take it anymore. We have to stop right now, or that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
you know,
Wow. Uh-huh.
and then we become one of those people that's like everybody else would have went to the hospital long ago, but
Mhm.
we never
Yeah.
went. It happened
Okay.
repeatedly,
Yeah.
and we
Exactly.
never went because we're
Yeah.
like doubled over in pain, bleeding. But it's not. Hey, I bled less than a cup, so I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, not that you measure out your blood like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
You can kind of guess what's happening. Internal bleeding is difficult to tell sometimes, but I'm not recommending that. If a person can afford and whatnot, get medical attention at will. That's probably the better thing. But
like I was thinking, like one thing, like many people today, they have everything more than enough. But what are they doing with what they have? Like they're watching TV, they're wasting their time watching TV, listening to the news, when they can enjoy their lives. They just want to have car, status objects, watch TV all the time. Yet they have all the resources to live the best life. But instead they choose to just watch TV. And here I am, I want like being homeless, but at least if I had the same resources they have, I would have done something valuable with that. Maybe write or change the world.
And some people probably maybe end up in a better position because of that. I can't give you too much detail because of course it's sort of I think it's sort of a secret.
Yeah. Okay.
But there was a guy who repeatedly gave me rides, and he was.
He gave what?
At some point, there was this guy who repeatedly gave me rides, like home or to the grocery store or something.
Okay, yeah.
And or to somewhere or whatnot. But this guy told me. This guy told me that when he lived in Iran, he was middle class, but he lived like he was lower class.
Oh yeah, this is a good example. Yeah.
And why did he live like he was lower class?
Yeah, why?
He was addicted to heroin.
Oh.
So he spent most of his money doing heroin. Like
good.
Like Macaulay Culkin, before he was spending $6,000 a month on drugs, and at a point, and it's like most of the money he was getting, he was spending on drugs. He was obviously if you have $6,000 to spend on drugs and you have a mansion and stuff like that,
exactly.
Most of his money was just not really for him for the best.
Yeah, exactly.
But he kind of broke free from that, it seems. But
okay. Yeah. Wow.
But anyways, this guy, I'm not sure what the details of all that stuff, but I don't think I should go any further into details of that respect.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to say where he may have, who it exactly may be, because I've obviously encountered multiple Persians throughout my life. But he said, okay, I knew one of the ways that he started like a good Muslim, he started doing all his prayers, and that helped a lot. But the problem was he relapsed. He kept relapsing because there were those gaps. So heroin can make you high for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So so here's how he dealt with that.
Okay.
Is that So in the middle of the night, there's going to be a 4-hour slot somewhere to get high. So he knew. Okay, if I can get so that helped make it being somebody who stopped every few hours for a few minutes, and it's just like, okay, I got to be sober at least for my prayers.
So they don't take it seriously, the path either.
But so so the next thing he's like, okay, voluntary prayers in the middle of the night. Let's start. If I start doing some of those, and you know what he says, that's how it worked. That's how it worked. Is that he once he started doing voluntary prayers in the middle of the night on a regular basis, he was able to stay off the drugs because he had to be sober for that too.
Oh wow!
And so it's not like it's not like he didn't have a regular life. It's like some of the it's like right now it's like it's Saturday, right? So pretty soon where I'm at, Jews will be ending their Sabbath with a service, and these Jews make some of their services so long. Like the Christians picked it up too. You have church services that are like 3 hours long and all this stuff.
Wow.
The Muslims pray longer, talk for half an hour, pray and get back to work. The Christians and the Jews will make 1.5 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour services long, and you really can't just keep that stuff up.
Yeah.
But this guy, he had a regular life. He had a regular life. He just, when he took a bathroom break, he washed up and prayed. It wasn't that difficult of a thing. I mean, it may take time for your mind and stuff to adjust to doing this, but like I noticed with certain meditations and stuff, it can take a couple months till you start feeling it. Your mind, it's like, but you got to get a bit more of a chance than one day I listened, I turned on an audiobook and I listened for 20 minutes and it didn't change my life. It's like, maybe it did, but you weren't letting it have its full effect. Oh, that's interesting. There's a blue line across this. There's a blue line across this graphic. I don't know what it's from.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's not part of the graphic.
Bolt or?
It's not part of the graphic. It's
not part of the graphic.
It's some.
Yes, it breaks the house.
The computer's doing it, and there's little spots up and up over in the side here. And I don't know what's causing it. There doesn't seem to be smoke or anything. So the glitch almost makes it like there's a light coming from the tower, like it's a lighthouse or something. But this will have to be it for today.